All right, here now with reaction. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu is with us, along with New Hampshire Senate candidate, Republican General Don Bolduc is with us. Good to see you both. Thank you both for being with us. General, first of all, a guy took a swipe at you last night. I know you served, 10 tours of duty, I believe, in Afghanistan. You have 2 Purple Hearts, 5 Medals of Valor. You're a true American hero. I'm sure getting, somebody taking a swing at you is not unusual to you, not comfortable, though, on the other hand.
Well, thank you, Sean. It's great to be on tonight, and my best to your viewers. Well, it's just one of those things that, you have to guard against all the time. I'm thankful for the police being there to respond quickly. Certainly had some supporters that responded quickly. But, this guy identified himself quickly. We all kept a good eye on him, and I was able to react in plenty of time so that, nothing happened. And the police reacted in plenty of time, and the gentleman was arrested and removed from the scene.
Well, you did a great job during the debate.
Hey, guys. I'm here at the Goffstown District Court. I'm here for trial. This is for disorderly conduct and criminal trespass over at the St. Anselm College. If you remember Don Bolduc incident where he threw an elbow into my chest. Yeah, I was trespassed from the property, but I left the property. Yeah, I confronted Don Bolduc, but I didn't re-enter the property. So we're going to see how this goes, guys. Hopefully this all goes smooth and Don Bolduc is subpoenaed, and because Press NH Now and I went to his house and he served it to him, so we'll see how this goes. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Excellent. Yourself?
All right. Let's get some stuff in our pockets here. That should be
Picture taking? Oh, you're all right.
Shiny badges don't grant extra
rights?
Oh, right in my belt.
You know where you're going?
Yep.
Okay.
Sprinkled, but that's did you notice?
We going up to court?
Yeah.
Okay. Take that.
Sure.
Yeah. It's gonna beep anyway, so take it. Just give me this. Take that.
It's gonna be.
It's all right. You got a belt on. There you go. There you go.
So should I give this to the clerk? So
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Definitely upstairs. You're gonna go down the hall, second door on the left, second floor. Take your time, take your time. Thank you. Have a good day.
I am recording right now. I am recording. Right here. I can.
Did you want to hear an offer from me, or did you just want to?
I'll listen. Yeah.
Okay. I'd be willing to reduce the criminal trespass to a violation with a suspended fine. You have no contact with St. Anselm College. And just stay good behavior for 6 months.
No, I want an officer.
Okay. So,
That was the only deal I'd take.
okay. So we'll set up a trial, so you can go have a seat and wait for the court to open.
Guys, that's the prosecutor here. He's trying to make a deal with me, trying to get me 6 months, good behavior, and trust me, I will not be going to that university. Trust me on that. But this guy right here, little snake.
yeah, I thought you were gonna. Yeah, I don't need it. I already know the rules.
Okay,
Thanks for.
this is
trying.
my copy.
Sure is.
Okay.
He's already sat and showed with me.
Is he? Yeah, he did this last time with me. He doesn't realize that
Guys, I'm just trying to make sure everything's done by the rules, okay?
Yeah. You don't think we don't follow the rules,
You have
man?
no authority of the rules. Mind
Man.
your business.
I'm just trying to.
You have no authority over the rules. Mind your business.
I do, I'm
You have
actually.
no.
You're
authority over the
defending
rules.
liars too right now,
The
too.
judge
You
has
know,
authority over the rules, not you.
you're defending liars It's going to be very interesting how this goes today.
And I wasn't recording until you opened your track, so.
I asked you a question.
Yeah, well, I don't.
You can ask all you want.
I don't answer questions.
Stop trying to violate our rights.
Are you gonna motion to object to my recording? Is that your problem?
No.
And then what is the point of your argument now?
That's what he does. He's a prosecutor.
It's just stupid.
He argues against nonsense.
Exactly. If you
Against-
have no objection to it, then shut up.
Sir, I'm done talking.
Yeah, well, no. You know what?
Very
You
nice.
started. I wasn't listening anyway. How'd that work out for you?
You should have freekeen.com loaded up because I submitted that as evidence. And search Bolduc, you'll find the video.
Guy just likes to hear himself talk.
Make sure you bring that up for when Bolduc takes a stand.
What a clown.
Yeah, if you already gave him that evidence, you should have it.
Mm-hmm. All the irrelevant body cam footage that shows nothing. He's such a weirdo, guys. He really is.
Like, what the hell was that about? What a joke.
So, the prosecutor I had for my first case, I liked him because he had a nice finesse, the way he handled the board.
Yeah, some of
The
them are
way he,
nice.
like,
Some
he,
of them
like-
are actually decent to you and stuff.
Yeah, he was nice, but then when he got into acting mode, he got like all decent.
Back up. Got too many cameras. We need back up.
Got a camera, turn up.
Call.
Do you see that like state employee that was here? She was all like, like shaking her head, like, why? So many cameras. Yeah.
She was asking this question.
Yeah, who's it?
She works for the state, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're all scared of cameras.
Yeah. One day we're gonna have body cams on them all, and they have to run all the time, and then we review them if we think they're being fishy.
TV's over here.
Oh, yeah, you probably, yeah, you'll have to move.
You moving?
Yeah, because to reposition.
Oh, the TV.
Yeah. You can always ask him, you got all that one hand?
Yeah, I have two hands, so.
Oh, yeah. Reserve precedence now. Thank you, guys.
That view anyway.
Yes.
She made a copy for you, yep, stamped.
Yep.
And then you gave a copy to them?
Yep.
The reason why I was saying double check the case, I wasn't sure about that one, and then they might say alter technicality. Pull some bullshit. Or just lie. And say they never got it.
I'm gonna dismiss it. They're gonna come out and be like, dismissed. And then
Yeah,
Bolt.
too many cameras, dismissed.
And then either Bulldog drove all the way here or he didn't drive here. If he didn't drive here, dismissed.
Yeah. It's pretty sad when even the veterans were calling him out during his campaign.
Mr. Bailiff, did you see the incident with Bulldog?
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Take a look. Take a look at the video footage. Put it in slow-mo and you'll see what actually happened. He wants to claim that I threw a punch at him. That's not why I'm here, though, because I was never charged with it because I actually never did it. But he threw an elbow in my chest. We're going to talk about that here once we get Bulldog on the stand, if he even comes. And if you guys didn't know, that's the head of security right there of St. Anslem.
I liked when Vermin Supreme was there in 2012.
What about?
Vermin Supreme when he was at St. Anselm in 2012.
Oh, yeah. My name is Vermin Supreme. You can vote for me.
I'm good.
Closing statement, please.
My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. Vermin Supreme. My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. My name is Vermin. Vermin Supreme. And you can vote. And you can vote. And you can vote for me for president if you want to. And my name is Vermin. And okay. Thanks very much for coming out today. Oh, one more thing. Jesus told me to make Randall Terry gay with magic sprinkled up.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Supreme. Thank you. All right.
He's turning gay.
All right.
Gay.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot how small this courthouse is. With their resources too, that they literally have the clerk's office right now.
Yeah. It seems like an efficient building when it comes to their clerk office and the judge.
Yeah.
Because it goes quick.
Yeah, which is nice.
Nobody's going on the court website.
You had
This conversation reminds me of a thing with the judge I had over recording outside of the courts being in session. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, well, can't you just go back on your camera? And I'm like, no. Dude, have you ever tried to scroll back and figure out for like a 3-hour video, like exactly what parts that may or may not have been recorded that were out of session?
They have AI now, so you can do all this.
Yeah, it's like,
So the prosecutor's working off of AI.
Chatbot.
Do all the phone.
Yeah, I can't wait to. There is somebody doing that with like a version of ChatGPT, but
Yeah,
good luck.
I've done a little bit of it.
the judge eventually backed down though.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, we are scheduled this afternoon for a trial in the matter of State versus Joseph Clark.
Thank you.
Can we approach?
Yes.
I have a problem with the video cameras. I just do have a problem with some locations of them. The one standing behind me. The one standing behind me has already called out things I'm looking up on my phone.
You're in public view, sir.
And I'm trying
You
to.
gotta keep it moving on stage.
No, I haven't finished.
Okay, sorry.
I'm really good with this, that he can't be illuminated on my work problem. The other thing is he's got one at the defense table and asked that one camera be set up at a distance away from witnesses and they can capture the whole thing, they can hear the whole thing, but I would need them at a respectful distance.
Objection. There's been plenty of times we've been recorded with cameras everywhere, including right here at the desk where I'm sitting with the defense. So this is absurd. This would be a new precedent what he's trying to establish here with the cameras.
Okay. I'm gonna have you both go back to your council table. I have a request to record this proceeding by one entity of Press New Hampshire Now. And then I have one request to record by someone who identified themselves as anonymous.
That would be me. Technically, I don't have to do that, but
Is there anyone else who's seeking to record this proceeding?
I'm recording here, Freaky Press, we're registered with the state.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm fine with folks having your cameras to record the proceedings. However, I wanna make sure everyone is in compliance with the applicable Rule 1.4, and that includes, I don't want you to have your cameras directed in such a manner that you could pick up, for example, confidential communications, or otherwise in any way disrupt the proceedings. So my concern is that, sir, if you have a camera right there, I don't know if you can zoom in on what, the prosecutor has in front of him.
I can't.
I don't know if you're capable of zooming in on the prosecutor's notes or anything. My concern is that I wanna make sure that nobody is close enough to counsel table, which
Your Honor,
the
if I-
rules require it to be far enough away that there's no interference.
If I may, when I was on my phone, he called out what I was looking at, and then proceeded to call me, he spelt out douchebag. So I prefer him not behind me after that.
May I just say something real quick? He had his phone just like kind of up like this. When you're on your phone like this and you're a prosecutor and it's sensitive information, maybe you don't want people even reading it behind you, let alone a camera.
I could see it from my view right here. He was on the court website, okay? I can see that with my own eyes, never mind the camera, which zooms in 10 times that.
So he just proved the point.
So in calling him a douchebag, I do have a right to free speech. He did try to
Okay,
object to be recorded.
I'm not gonna get involved with who's calling who what.
Well, he's the
However,
one who brought it up, Your Honor.
what I do, wanna make sure that the cameras are not close enough to capture anything in counsel tape. I'm sorry. Do you have counsel with you?
I'd like to have him here with me for my trial.
I have no appearance.
Are you counsel?
I'm not counsel right now, I'm just.
May I
sitting here.
motion to have counsel here with me, assisted counsel?
Your counsel needs to file an appearance as counsel,
Oh, I see.
if you're gonna appear as counsel.
Okay.
See, are you a lay person appearing as a lay representative, or are you an attorney?
Yeah, just a layperson.
Okay, I need you to
Yeah, I forgot
fill
about
out the
that.
appropriate forms in order to do that.
Okay, can I have him do that?
Are you planning to represent him in this trial? So he's gonna speak on your behalf?
No, I'm gonna speak. He's just gonna be assistant, so
Yeah.
to discuss strategy into the court.
Okay, what we're gonna do, a couple things. We're gonna have the camera situated so that nobody can capture what's going on at the counsel table directly. In terms of the people, the prosecutor or the defense counsel's communications with, their representatives, or, looking at their papers, et cetera, their cell phones, if they're reading things on their computer, their laptop, and people prepare for trial in all manner of different ways. So, what I'm gonna have you do with the camera, it's fine to have it focused on the court, the
Well, I mean, it's
the
kind of,
witness.
I can't zoom out.
I understand, you've
further.
got it focused on the court.
I can't further zoom out any further than I am now.
Okay,
And I mean, I could show you, I don't know.
what,
And I'd like to get a picture of the evidence over on the TV, that's why I moved from that side to over here. But, I mean, I can just promise you, Your Honor, that I won't zoom in on his paperwork and his phone. I mean, that's all I can do. I probably won't even touch my phone for the remainder of the trial.
okay. I need to make sure that the parties at counsel table have an ability to have their own confidential documents, so,
Public record.
I'm gonna, well, I still need the people at counsel table to be able to look at their own personal files in a confidential manner, notes they take, et cetera. So, I'm gonna leave you where they are. However, if at any time there's a concern raised about what you are, what you can see with that camera or record at the counsel table, we'll take it up if and when that happens,
I'm sure
okay?
that will probably come above with him.
So, in the meantime, I wanna make sure that everyone has the opportunity to record and videotape as you choose. I just need to do it in some manner that doesn't.
Is he objecting to me recording in here? Has he made an objection?
The court has made a ruling about what we're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna leave you where you are, and I understand that you have indicated you are not gonna zoom in on anything at counsel table or with the prosecutor.
Okay.
And I assume you're not gonna do the same thing either for the defendant. So,
He can look at all my stuff. He can zoom in.
okay,
I have
So
no-
just to clarify, anybody can record, right? Not just the people who have cameras?
Those who fill out the
but there
form.
is a process to, if you're going to record, you provide advance notice to the court, you fill out a form and submit that advance notice to the court. I have advance notices from, Press New Hampshire now, I understand that Free Keene filed one in the past, they are here today again. And I have someone named Anonymous, which the defendant has indicated is him. If there's anyone else recording, just provide that, you can tell me now, and well, you're all, the same rules apply to everyone. You also understand this is not, any recording you prepare is not the official record. We prepare an official record. So, let's talk about your representative. So, you're asking to have a representative, a lay representative, assist you in this trial, not to speak on your behalf, but to
Just so we can talk about what's.
provide you advice.
Yes.
Okay, it still sounds like that person is falling within the category of providing lay representation, even if it's limited. Can I have you identify yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Stephen Smith. So the thing is, I knew that I backed up because I wanted to get to the fire station. And I knew something was wrong because I couldn't turn the steering wheel correctly.
It looks like you were improperly in that lane, and they went around you and hit you.
Yeah, that's what somebody else had said too. So then you get them all coming up on me like this.
Yeah.
And I can actually.
They're on the hood of your car, smashing your
windshield.
Yeah.
Then you have the guy that ran me off the road. He comes around. You can't really see it there. He actually, so I paused it. So he's right here. He came around this side first, but my doors were locked. And so comes around there. You can't really see him. He starts assaulting me through there. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Then finally they decided to rip me out. And then you get a couple firefighters in there.
Firefighters like, what's going on?
Yep. They call for backup. They say they're under attack. Come to get back. They need backup. They get what's like a pickaxe type thing. Come over. This one to the right comes over. He's the one that yells like, "Get the fuck off! Get the fuck off!"
Yeah, this guy's got the pickaxe right there.
Yep. And yes, I've never passed the bar, but just here as a layman, just provide some assistance.
I feel that,
So what is it, 20?
no regarding.
No, I have not.
Representation.
No, I have not.
You wish you did it. Some questions regarding.
I mean, in order for me to sit here, you want me to, you would need me to.
Yes.
Then yeah, I would probably ask for a recess and then you can do that.
Okay.
And then we'll, see how we're doing this and that, and we'll get that.
Where's your mute button?
Okay.
I don't think there is one.
Is there a mute button on these microphones here? Okay.
It's fine. I don't know. Just go fill it. Let's go fill the
We're
form.
gonna take a very brief recess.
Thank you.
And then I'll come back in and make a determination on what the.
All right.
Final objection is a dead rise. Cologne on.
It's strong, bro. It is strong.
You like that shut down, buddy? Thank you for doing that.
I'm gonna zoom in.
Oh, no. Full documents, oh no.
Is Bolduc here?
I didn't, you know,
I
oh, I don't know, did you check?
submitted it to you guys too.
I know, I got it. I'd take a check in the lobby, that's where they usually sit.
I see. I thought you maybe no, you don't.
I haven't talked to them.
You wouldn't be able to because he's a witness.
Court's gonna allow him to do that.
Thank you.
Parties are ready to proceed.
Yes.
A couple of things. There are a couple of motions.
That's
There
correct.
is a motion, the state law, a motion to amend the complaints.
Yep, I got that here. And I would like to object. Based on, it was just like a week ago, he sent this, this amendment?
Well, I'll first have to explain the basis for his motion, then you can.
Sure.
Your objection.
We are just looking to amend the time on the criminal trespass charge to read 6:30 instead of 6:33. As to the disorderly conduct charge, looking to change the time from 6:33 to 6:31 p.m. and add 3A after the 6:44. The body of the language in disorderly conduct is straight from 644-2-3A. The criminal complaint can be amended freely up until the finding. And there's going to be no additional facts added to this, Your Honor. It's all in discovery. So we're not adding any claims or any offenses or any different additional charges. We're just simply looking to amend it to those three things.
And so yeah, I object to these time changes because it does affect when they're saying when the criminal trespass and the other charge, disorderly conduct occur, they're mismatching the times because they know that their original statements prove that I'm actually innocent. So I'm going to object to their changing the times because I hadn't had time to even defend such a thing because it doesn't make any sense why they're changing that around.
Your Honor, it's in the discovery that was given to the defendant.
Yes, I got that here like a week ago.
Specifically the body on camera with the timestamp.
So that means they should have had their accurate statements to begin with because they had footage.
Okay, I'm gonna allow the amendments. I understand, sir, that you object. I also have a couple of motions to dismiss pending. Right, there are two motions to dismiss, both of them say the state takes no position.
What was that?
That's inaccurate, Your Honor. I just never made aware of it until just now. I did not take no position. I mean, object.
He said 10 days. He means 10 days or something like that.
Have you seen them?
I was just given to him about, I don't know, 50 minutes ago.
Okay. So, tell me the basis for your motions to dismiss.
Well, I believe in the First Amendment, and I hope you do too, when it comes to speaking my mind. I mean, if I want to call someone something, as long as I'm not threatening them and I'm not causing them to want to fight me and fight using fighting words, then I believe that the disorderly conduct is overruled by case rulings from the Supreme Court, Counterman versus Colorado, and I didn't do anything to invite harm to myself. Like that's what disorderly conduct. I have to, cause them to want to hurt me or cause violence.
What about the trespass charge?
So I'll just read it out. The dismissal of the trespass charge based on the facts that I was asked to leave, and I did leave, and I walked over to a public sidewalk, and only from there I walked further away from the property at that point. So that's why I believe that this trespass charge is irrelevant. I was already off the property when asked. And you can also, if you would like to check out my case out of Manchester, I had the charges dismissed and I won a settlement due to it.
Whoa! Oh, don't touch him! He didn't want to be touched! What in the world?
Why? My hands are up! Why? Why am I being detained? Why are you gonna tase me, bro?
Why? Why? You guys are being thugs.
I'm not resisting!
He's tasing him! Stop tasing him! Stop tasing him! What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? No, you guys are, no, whatever. Stop giving directives. You guys are trash. No. Enough! 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 Leave him alone! Leave him alone! Leave him alone! Hey! No, I haven't committed a crime! I haven't committed a crime! Hey! I will give you, I don't have it on me, so what are you gonna do? Put your camera down.
I'm not, I haven't resisted!
Can I put it down? Yeah. Don't, why are you arresting me, sir? Why are you arresting me? Why are you arresting me, sir?
I tried to.
Why are you arresting me? Tell me now. Tell me.
For almost exactly the same thing. I was trespassed from the property. I walked to the public sidewalk, and then they arrested me for failure to ID. But I had already left the property because of the way that trespass laws work. If you trespass from the property, you leave the property. If you refuse to leave the property, you get ID'd. You get arrested potentially. They just need an identifier. They don't need your ID, who you are. They just need to be like, okay, that guy with the mustache and cop-looking haircut, and a shiny badge, Okay, we identify him that way. You don't need an ID. It's just now if the guy with the cop haircut, mustache, and shiny badge re-enters the property, now it's criminal trespass.
What is the state's position?
Your Honor, I don't really know how to respond to that. There's been no law stated, especially no New Hampshire law argued. It's basically a dispute of facts, and the defendant has the burden of proof to prove his motion to dismiss, and in the light most favorable to the state, I don't believe he's done that.
Judge, in their own words, they say went to a public sidewalk. And from that moment, and where they're saying had an incident with Bolduc, was further away from the property. I didn't go into the property.
Your Honor, this is a dispute of facts.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Hmm?
I think, I'm not gonna dismiss the complaints based on the facial content of the complaints. However, I'll resume ruling at the end of the state's case. You believe you have grounds to dismiss the complaints after hearing the state's case, then you can renew your motion at that time.
I just don't think he had much of an argument here now regarding my dismissal. Didn't seem very.
Well, and as I said, I have taken the position that the complaints are facially valid.
Okay.
However, I will reserve ruling on. I'm not precluding you from making a motion to dismiss at the end of the close of the state's evidence.
Okay.
If you believe the court that you have grounds for the court to dismiss the case at that time. In the meantime, we're going to proceed, and I will reserve ruling on that until the appropriate time.
Sure.
Okay. Is the state ready to proceed?
We are. Before we proceed, do you have any witnesses in the room?
I do have witnesses.
Which ones?
I'm gonna call Frank Staples to the stand.
He's sequestered.
I'm calling him right now.
But our side goes. The prosecution goes first.
Okay.
I'm just asking any witnesses that you're going to call to be sequestered.
He's not sequestered per se.
Could I have his witness be sequestered?
Okay, anyone who's going to testify for either the state or the defendant, unless you're about to testify right now, I'm going to have you leave the room, wait outside in a conference room or somewhere. You don't have to leave the building.
Let me go find him real quick.
But
just tell me he's
call.
going.
We'll call.
And
Sorry.
I also, in other words, separate from each other, separate from the courtroom, just remain outside.
May I make a note that they've been sitting together? 3 witnesses have been sitting next to each other and talking. Can we make that note?
Okay, well, I wasn't in the room, I have no ability.
Well, they're sitting next to each other now, and I can have.
We're going to sequester.
But before the testimony starts, I'm going to ask that the witnesses be sequestered. It's fairly routine to do this.
Do you think it's quite unfair that they've been sitting next to each other talking in the courtroom?
Listen, I'm not in a position to know what they said or did while they were sitting in the courtroom.
Think it's conflict at all?
I'm ready to proceed.
State calls Matt Hosey. Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Please have a seat. Can you state your name and spell your last for the record?
Matthew Hosny, H-O-Z-E-N-Y.
How are you employed right now?
I'm not.
What are you doing right now?
I'm retired.
On November 2nd of 2022, were you working?
I was.
In what capacity were you working?
I was a police sergeant for the Goffstown Police Department.
How long were you a police officer for?
24 years.
Were you certified through the New Hampshire Police Standards and Training Council?
I was.
And when did you go to the police academy?
1999.
On November 2nd, 2022, you worked as a police sergeant?
Yes.
What were some of your roles as a sergeant?
I supervised the patrolmen during my shift.
On November 2nd, 2022, around 6:30, were you at St. Anselm College?
I was.
What were you up there for?
I was doing a outside detail. They were having some debates that were closed to the public inside the Institute of Politics.
Were you inside the Institute of Politics?
I was stationed outside in the parking lot.
Is that St. Anselm property?
It is.
Private property?
Private property.
Why did they have police details up there for that event?
They generally draw a large audience, and they just want to make sure that everyone is being orderly and it's safe for everyone to participate. And they have their campaign areas set aside for campaigners to voice their opinions.
Where are those areas?
This particular one was it was sectioned off on the grassy side of the Institute of Politics.
Why did they want them over there? Do you know?
I'm not really sure why. Probably just to maintain one order, one area for them all to be in, because all the campaigners were in that area, except for a small group that was off to the side of the sidewalk.
And the driveway, can you describe that area?
The driveway comes into the Institute of Politics, and then it kind of flares out where they're going to allow parking for the candidates to park in. And they wanted everybody away from that area so the candidates could park safely and get out of their cars. It is an active parking lot, so.
Is it entry-exit level? Entry-exit?
It's entry only, you exit around the back.
So cars coming into.
Come in.
Come in that way,
And
okay.
that's where we were stationed.
Do you recall around about 6:26 talking with a gentleman named Joseph Hart?
I didn't know his name at the time, but I recognize him seated right there, yes.
You spoke with about 6:26. You spoke with this gentleman here, see the defense table.
Yes, sir.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect that.
What did you speak to him about?
He had started walking over towards my area. I was standing in the parking lot where the candidates were parking, and he started to come over to that area and walk towards where the cars were parking. And I advised him that it was private property and that St. A's didn't want anybody in that area, just to maintain a level of safety and order. And it is a parking lot, and this car is coming and going, so you shouldn't be standing in the parking lot or the driveway area.
How did he take that advice?
He didn't think I had the authority to ask him not to come over.
Objection?
He wanted to speak with a representative from St.
I
Anselm
need to
College.
stop for a moment. Yes, what's the basis of your objection?
Hearsay, he said something that I think. So he's assuming I thought some way when he said that statement.
What did he say to you?
Okay, I'm not sure he can testify what's in somebody else's
No,
mind.
I asked him,
Go ahead.
restate it. What did Mr. Hart say to you in response to
I
that?
advised him it was private property and that he was not welcome to be in that area. And then he went back and forth a little bit, and then he wanted a representative from St. Anselm College to say that to him. And Director Brown happened to be in earshot, and he walked
I'll
over.
hold you right there, Sergeant. You see that? Do you recognize what this screen is?
That's the parking lot driveway area of the Institute of Politics.
And do you recognize where this video is from?
That's somewhere in the parking lot.
And what was recording this video, I should say?
That's a body-worn camera, it looks like, from one of the officers.
Is that you right there?
It is.
And what's going on in this picture here?
That's when Mr. Hart approached me, well, he did approach me, he approached the area that was restricted for people to be in, and I was letting him know that this is private property, and the owners of the property didn't want people in that area.
This accurate depict the interaction you had with him?
Yes.
When he's what what is he saying he wanted to do right there?
It sounded like he was arguing with me about me telling him that it was private property and that he wasn't allowed to be there.
Listen to that, because I haven't been told anyone.
Now, can you describe the area in this? That area, the grass area on the right and left, what are those areas?
Well, on the left-hand side, that's the Institute of Politics. That was off limits for everybody.
Okay.
The right-hand side, they had it roped off with some caution tape. It's a grassy area, that's where the campaigners were allowed to be, on St. Anselm's property. They weren't allowed to be in the parking lot or the driveway area, the paved portion.
In that area that you were speaking with Mr. Hart,
That's the paved portion that was off limits. They didn't want anybody there, and that's private property owned by St. Anselm College.
I have no further questions.
Sir, do you have any questions for this witness?
Can you second, please?
Yeah.
All right. So Matt, he just showed you a video here, and I don't know how long it is. Let me see how long this video is. 54 seconds. Would you recall that being the full length of that body cam footage?
It wasn't my camera.
Maybe we can just play back right from the beginning and then right at the end, but we can watch 54 seconds, right?
You want me to do it?
I can do it if you trust me on your laptop.
I don't.
Okay, so is this typical to have no noise at the beginning of a body cam?
Sometimes, yeah, there's like a 30-second buffer before it'll start to audio record.
So you say it's the beginning of the
Yeah,
okay.
typically, yeah.
I'm just gonna hit the space bar to pause it.
Sure.
Matt, do you see anybody else not in these designated areas as stated to the prosecution?
In that picture?
Sure. And I'm going to continue to play it, so maybe you can
Okay.
answer after I continue playing it.
Yeah.
They're talking on you right now, private property. I want to speak to a rock. You can tell me to leave, but you're not telling me to leave. You solicited that because I haven't been told anyone.
I think that's good for right now. But let's play it out so we can just see the whole body cam. And you would say you turned it off?
Again, it's not my camera, sir.
It's typical to see your fingers maybe at the end there when you turn it off.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Was I being awfully loud?
I wouldn't say no. No, I wouldn't say you were. At that point in time, no.
Would you say maybe at one point when I was out there I was as loud as other people there?
Sure.
Okay. You had said in your statements here, let me just go over this real quick. You said, as time went on, I noticed that there was one particular person, I think you're describing me, from the group of the public sidewalk who was speaking in a very loud and boisterous manner. The language that was directing towards the other groups was offensive at times, and it also seemed like he was trying to incite them into causing a disturbance. Did you hear boos come from me just then?
From you?
Yes.
I did not.
Did you hear me being loud?
At that point in time,
Right.
no.
Right, but there were people
It was
that
just
were...
a discussion that you and I were having.
Okay, right. And I was just trying to clarify about me
Yes.
being on the property, correct?
Yep.
Okay. When you told me that it was private property, did I leave?
Yes.
I did?
Yep.
Okay. Did I re-enter the property?
I did not see you re-enter until my next contact with you. Again, you were back on the paid portion of St. Anselm.
Well, how was I back on to the paved portion.
I'm not sure what transpired for you to come back on there, but when I saw you again, you were back on the private property section.
Do we have the other body cam footage?
I gave it to you.
Yeah, I know, but you have it on your computer. If we can just bring it up.
Object at this point, Your Honor, is outside the
Is it?
scope of direct. He's directing him to another time.
He has, why can't I? Why wouldn't I be able to direct him to another time in the day?
I'm not sure. And you can cross-examine him if you have something you want him to look at, but is it pertinent to what his testimony is?
Well, of course, it's the body cam of the incident. I don't know what he's even objecting for right now.
Okay, is this a continuation of the tape recording that's on? I'm not
It's
sure.
on another one, but I haven't questioned him on it.
So I have to wait for him to question him about it before I bring it up. Yeah, you rested.
No, he's not rested his case, he may have other witnesses, I don't know what.
Well,
the
with
rest of his
him.
case is. He has not asked this witness any further questions.
Correct, and I'm trying to bring up other evidence for him to review so that he can testify to the court, and he's saying, I can't.
He's
He's saying it's out of the scope.
He's saying you didn't ask him about it, you can certainly challenge his credibility.
Actually, I want a dismissal of suppression of evidence if he's gonna do that.
I'm not sure I understand. Tell me what it is that you want him
Well, he
to
objected.
look at.
I am trying to counter his objection.
Well, I understand, I'm asking you what it is that you want. You wanna play another video.
Yeah, I wanna show him all the evidence.
Okay, another video, involving this person interacting with you,
All the incident that went on.
and.
All right, can I ask him a
Okay,
question?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is this witness like?
I don't know if he's trying to impeach him, I'm not sure. I was just.
No, I'm trying to impeach you for your statement.
Well, he didn't testify.
I didn't-
This
No,
witness
but-
testified. So if you're trying to challenge this witness's credibility with some piece of evidence.
No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying right now is that maybe if I just ask a question real quick, it might help with the process.
I mean, I don't know if there are other videos out there about other
Right,
incidents.
that's how I'm gonna bring this up.
I don't know the answer to that question, but I didn't know if you were asking him about this video and.
That was only
this
54
interaction or
seconds.
some other interaction.
We just watched the whole thing. So,
Okay.
so I'm gonna ask him a question.
Okay.
Have you seen any other footage in evidence according to this case?
Yes.
Okay, now we can bring it up.
Again, same objection.
I don't understand, he's objecting for me bring up evidence to a witness.
It's the state's case, Your Honor. If he would like to call him when he puts on his case, he could do that. As to this point in time, he's cross-examining, he has to stay relatively within the scope of the direct.
Not really, you rested and I have
I
plenty,
know.
I'm defending myself and I have the right
For the record, Your
to
Honor,
ask a
I
witness
have no
anything.
He's not rested.
On the
However,
record, he
If you
did.
wanna call this witness to testify about other events during your case, you're free to do that.
Right. Are you gonna object?
Well, he may or may not. Give them the
I don't get
do
it, like, a little bit of a conundrum you're doing right
Give me
now.
an offer of proof about what,
He was there, he was an officer, he arrested me. I wanna show him more footage. More, so he can testify on the stand. I don't see how there's any objection to this. This seems like prudent to any court case ever to like present evidence to witnesses.
okay. The
It's just-
state has questioned this witness about topics that apparently the state believes are relevant to his testimony. You're saying that he has information about other events. And what the state's position is that that's not within the scope of his testimony. So your cross-examination is about his direct testimony. If you're telling me you're challenging his credibility,
I'm challenging his credibility on his objection, not his credibility
Okay.
yet. I'm still waiting for him to respond to the questions I'd like to ask.
and do those have anything to do with what he testified previously?
Not in that small time that he had. I mean, I have the right to answer any questions outside the things that he asked. Am I right?
This is the state's case. If you're cross-examining him you're telling me it goes to credibility, then.
I didn't say credibility. I never said those words. I'm talking about the credibility of this gentleman right now, of his
He's not-
objection.
He's not the witness.
I know, but maybe credibility is the wrong word, but I'm not questioning his credibility yet, like, in this courtroom.
Okay, and how is, what I'm trying to figure out is, what video or evidence you're gonna show me, what does that have to do with this individual's testimony?
Because he was there. He was an officer that was there that arrested me.
Okay, if you're gonna show me the rest of the video, and you think there's more to it, then I'm gonna allow you to show me the rest of the video.
I just don't understand why there's confusion here about evidence and a witness. Yeah, I want to bring up the next body cam.
So are you ordering me, Judge, to put in evidence that I haven't put in?
I submitted all discovery
Is
of
that
all
the-
body cam.
Okay, here's my question. Is that the end of this interaction that those two had?
That's all I questioned him on, Your Honor.
No, it's not.
But it's not they may have had one later, but I have not asked him about that. If he would like to call him as his case, he can. He's trying to put his case on. The state has not
Yes.
finished the state's case.
Objection. He admitted in my last question that there's more evidence. There's
Okay, but here's the bottom line, the state doesn't have to prosecute you for other offenses, etc. This is the state's case. You are cross-examining this witness.
I'm
about
the defendant
testimony.
in this case. I have the right to defend myself no matter what.
And you have the right to put your case on when the state rests.
He did rest.
When he may have other witnesses, after he's done.
I understand that.
resting, you are free to call this witness in your case.
All right, I'm calling him as my witness.
Well,
My
you
case.
have not rested. The state has not rested.
You did. He did on record. He just rested. I rest.
I said
No,
I
he
have
said
no
his note
other
for the witness,
questions.
questions for this witness. He doesn't rest
Okay.
until the state's case is over.
Okay, I'm just trying to put it all together here.
So you're not challenging this witness's credibility.
I mean, I haven't yet. I'm asking questions, and if it does come up, then I'm gonna, possibly. I don't know yet.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanna cross-examine about? his
Absolutely, I
testimony?
want to bring up all the video evidence that he is somehow objecting to, which that doesn't make any sense.
I'm not objecting.
Sir, do you
to
have any
video
questions that
evidence.
pertain to anything he testified to?
Already?
Yes.
Well, I already asked him those questions, but I'm asking more questions about that night, about what happened.
Okay, and then when you get to your case, you can ask him about other information, if there's information you wanna present in your case. Right now is your opportunity to cross-examine him.
I know, and I'm trying to do that by bringing up the video evidence. I don't understand why that's a conflict.
Okay, overruled. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you seen all the body cam footage?
I have seen other videos on body cam, yeah.
No, from this incident this night of my arrest,
All
in
of
this
them?
case.
I'm not sure what all consists of,
Have you seen more than just this 54-second video?
yes.
Okay. Can you remind us which video you have seen?
The one where you were placed under arrest.
Okay. Okay. So you weren't there. You had testified that you didn't see what actually happened of when I got arrested. Is that correct?
What led you to that area, I'm not sure of how you got. The last time I saw you was in that video. It was shortly after that, because you came back again when we talked with Director Browning. And then you again walked back towards the sidewalk where you're allowed to be.
Mhm.
And then the next time I saw you, you were back on the driveway, parking lot at St. Andrews College, which is private property, which you didn't see
Okay.
it yet, but.
All right.
You know where it's going, but.
Yeah, I'm actually going to bring up the GSI survey and I'll give you a copy. And then he's going to make a note. Okay.
Are you using this one?
Does this look familiar? This is evidence. We're going to have him jot a note of where actions took place. So I want to submit this as evidence after he.
Okay, why
writes
don't
on
you
it.
ask him about it?
Okay. Does this look familiar?
It's kind of blurry.
Yeah.
What is it supposed to be?
Well, that's a GSI survey from the Goffstown website. So
I don't know.
blurriness is not on me.
That's blurry, I don't know, it could be anything. That really doesn't depict.
If I
You can
were to
identify something.
If I were to say to you that this is the entrance to the St. Anslem College where we were,
Okay.
and that these were the parking spaces here,
Okay.
and that this is where the Bolduc supporters were. Is this correct?
Objection, Your Honor. He just said he doesn't know what that is, and then he just testified.
Would you agree that this is St. Anselm College?
I don't know, it could be a lot of things. So Judge, this is, to me, I don't know, it's very blurry.
Okay,
If he can't
why don't
get
we use the
that-
whiteboard?
Okay, you can draw a diagram.
Okay, great.
Right.
Looking like good artist guys. All right, here we go. So, here's the road, right? You see that's a road, correct?
Okay.
Okay. And then here's the sidewalk that leads into St. Anselm. It kind of does like a little curve, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can see it's not too blurry, right?
That's what that is.
And then it goes like that. And then there's parking spaces over here. Could you please, maybe, let me get a different color marker here. Could you please mark on here where the Bolduc supporters were?
There was two different campaigns going on, Bolduc and I think it was Hass. They were both in this general area. This is a grassy area right here. They kind of lined the parking lot area.
Okay.
Judge. This is where everybody was, and there was a small group where you were on the sidewalk over here.
I just asked for the Bolduc supporters.
Yeah, they were in this general area right here.
So you would say it was mixed Bolduc and Hassan supporters?
Yes, and there was a little bit down here in this area. It's right in this general area.
Would you say that the Bolduc and Hassan supporters stretched all the way down across the parking spaces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you maybe with the marker show me where I don't want to point, but show me where the tape was that you mentioned in your testimony?
That kind of strung along, it started on the sidewalk on the grassy area, and just kind of outlined the parking lot driveway area.
Could you draw it, please?
Right, yeah, it's kind of outlined this.
Okay.
And they were all, this is the grassy, this is all grass, this is where all the campaigners were.
Okay. And can you now show us where, say, others were that you were beginning to mention?
On the public sidewalk over here.
Okay, and can you circle the area of which all those supporters were?
Generally in this, they were generally in this area right here.
Right there?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And you just saw the body cam footage, the 54 seconds of body cam footage? Do you mind if I play it back real quick?
Sure.
Okay, can you get this back on real quick? Yes. And I also like the snippets of evidence, this drawing.
No objection.
That's fine.
If you just play, it'll be fine. You can see that, right?
Again.
Let me just pause it real quick. Do you know if these people right here were what supporters? Do you know who they were?
I do not.
Would you call them others, like not Bolduc or Hassan supporters?
Probably.
Okay. And where are they located? Can you maybe draw on the map where they're located?
They would be on this side, the building would be over here, Institute of Politics.
Okay.
And
Yep.
they're on this part of the sidewalk right in here.
Okay, and you can see like the building there. Can maybe
That's the
just
Institute of Politics.
you could just maybe general area. You can circle an area of where
Yeah, this
you think they are.
building right, so the people,
Just circle an area maybe where you think they are.
well, they're prior to the entrance, the light is where the entrance is. So they're probably this is the sidewalk. So they're further down, so they're probably in this area right here.
Okay, just give it a circle if you could, please. Okay, and then we'll play this. Okay, you see other people over here. Where do you see this gentleman here?
He's probably he's in the entryway.
He's in the entryway?
Right in here.
Okay. Did you at any point tell him to leave?
I did not.
No? Okay. Let me pause it here. Do you see other people here that are not on the sidewalk in these designated areas?
I do.
Okay, can you just put a circle over there as well?
They're probably here.
Okay.
Right now, private speak to her up. You can tell me to leave, but you're not telling me to leave. You solicited that because I haven't been told anyway.
Okay. Who gave you the order to not allow us over there?
I was instructed earlier at the beginning of my shift. I believe it was, might have been Sergeant LaRoche or Director Brown, I'm not sure. It was one of those two gentlemen.
Did you happen to see anyone walking amongst these parking space areas?
I do.
About how many would you say that you saw, not just in this video, but maybe in person?
Maybe a dozen.
A dozen?
Maybe.
And did they have permission to be there?
Probably. I don't know, I'm not sure.
Probably?
I wasn't told
I'll take it as the
to
record.
have them removed.
Oh, I think probably is good enough. All right, so let's continue watching. Okay, that's that video. I'd like to show more evidence of video evidence, if we could, with this witness.
Does this video continue?
That was 54 seconds. It was,
That's the whole video.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what is the other video?
I guess the only other part that he saw me was when I was being arrested.
Again, Your Honor, this is not something we, as a state, asked to direct or even touched on in direct. The defendant is more than welcome to bring it up in his case when the state rests.
Would you like to redirect? And then I'd like to redirect? I mean, I don't know how I can't just like bring up more evidence that he's involved with. Or bring up his body cam footage. I don't see why he's suppressing the fact that I...
Here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you try to draw up the relevance to this direct examination when you put it on. So I'm gonna let you play the video, and I assume you're gonna somehow connect it to what we have just seen and his prior testimony. So
It has to be just from the prior testimony?
okay, I'm trying to.
Okay, sorry.
This is the state's prosecution, sir. If you're telling me that you have information that you have evidence that you want to cross-examine him, if you're going to use something to cross-examine him about his testimony that he provided about that interaction, I'm going to allow you to do it. And I assume you're going to tie it up as you do that.
Well, they provided me the discovery of
I
this.
understand there may be discovery about all manner of things. What I need to know is whether it's pertinent to this witness. And if you tell me that it is, and it's pertinent to his testimony, I'm going to let you cross-examine him with it.
Well, I don't see why him being in footage of the other officer and his own footage of his own body cam wouldn't be prudent. It absolutely
If
is.
you're telling me that he also was taking body cam at the same time and there's another video, and you want to cross-examine
Sure.
about that, how that's different from what the video he just showed, okay, I'm gonna let you do that, but I assume you're gonna tie this up, so.
I'll take a month on this trial if I need to. Yeah, it's right there in my folder. Yeah. So, I'd like to bring up all of his body cam footage, please. I mean, it's on his computer and he doesn't want me to go through his computer, so I'm asking him.
Your Honor, I gave him all the body worn footage camera.
Are you not supposed to have discovery with you of
No,
everything?
sir, if you
provided?
have something you wanna cross-examine him with.
Okay, I got a DVD with all the body cam footage.
And I'll just read my objection to the record.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask you a question
Where is it?
that are going to be tied to his prior testimony. You're gonna use some body cam video
It's in that folder.
to do that.
The envelope. That's right there. Okay, so here's discovery. Pretty sure this is it. Well, I just don't understand that if they provide discovery, am I not
Sure.
allowed to show it in court?
You will have an opportunity to present whatever relevant evidence you want to present during your own case. This is your opportunity to challenge this witness. If you want to call this witness in your case, as long as it's not going anywhere, I would allow you to do that. You can present whatever evidence you believe is relevant.
I want to call him
your
as my
case
witness.
in your case. You can't call him during the state's case. When the state's case is over, you could present whatever other evidence that you want to present on your own behalf.
And he's not gonna be able to testify when I do that?
If you wanna call him as a witness, I will allow you to do that.
Okay, all right.
I
That
understand
makes
you have
more
subpoenaed
sense.
him, whatever, but I'm gonna request him to stay, I'll allow you to do that. But
Okay.
that you have relevant evidence in your case that you wanna use in your own defense, you are free to do that.
Yeah, I would just ask him to stay, I'm gonna ask him some questions about when I got arrested now. And then I'll bring up the footage later.
Your Honor,
Okay, you can ask about your arrest, go ahead.
he didn't testify to it. That's my objection.
I don't understand, I just want to understand the process. So he has to testify to something for me to actually ask? I can't just ask new questions in this case?
Sir, in your case, you can present whatever evidence you believe relevant to your defense. When you're cross-examining somebody, you are cross-examining the testimony they provide. Now, that often involves other information as a means of challenging somebody's credibility, but with the prosecutor, I think he's telling you that.
Okay, all right.
This is your opportunity to cross-examine, not to present your own case.
Okay.
So if you wanna cross-examine him about
Sure.
his prior testimony, and you, somehow his arrest is relevant to that, you go ahead.
Okay, all right, if you want to have a seat, I'll ask you some more questions. So you're no longer an officer?
Correct.
Did you retire?
Yes.
Okay. Were you ever on the Brady list?
No.
Were you ever questioned to be brought on the Brady list?
No.
Are you allowed to lie as a police officer? When you were a police officer, are you allowed to lie?
No.
You're not? Would it be unusual to tell you that police officers are allowed to lie?
Objection, Your Honor, he already answered the question.
No, it's a different question.
I need more context than that. That's a pretty open-ended question.
Well, I asked him if he's was allowed to lie as a police officer, or if he lied as a police officer, and then I asked him if police officers are allowed to lie as police officers.
That's not what you asked him. You asked him if he's allowed to lie. Then you're asking a general question, are police officers allowed to lie? I need more context than that, sir. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Well, okay.
If you understand his question, you can answer.
Let's see. When you arrested me, where were you? Where was I when I was arrested?
Objection, Your Honor. Same objection I've raised numerous times. The officer has not testified that he arrested.
Did you arrest me?
Objection, Your Honor.
I understand your objection. I'm gonna give him some leeway, and I'm waiting for him to tie this up. I haven't quite got there yet. Go ahead.
What was the question again?
Did you arrest me?
Yes.
Great. Now we testify.
Okay.
I'm trying to get this right.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, sir. Tell me where we're going with this.
Well, I'm asking him if he arrested me. He said yes. Where did you arrest me? Can you show me on the map? That's my next question.
We were in the general vicinity of, I would say, probably this area right here.
Okay.
Back on property that's owned by St. Anselm's College, which is private property.
Where was I just before that?
I don't know.
You don't know that. Okay. Did you review any footage?
Your Honor. There's a procedure here
I
that we
understand,
have
and
to follow.
I'm waiting for you to tie this up to his prior testimony. What does this have to do with his testimony regarding the events, his interaction with you?
Because he said that I wasn't allowed on the property, and then he's saying that he arrested me on the property. So I think this completely ties in. I mean, why wouldn't it?
So you're saying, I still don't understand. Was there another interaction between the two of you after the first one?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
I can ask him that if you'd like. Was there?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain how this works. This is your opportunity to cross-examine him about what he testified about, okay? Now.
I can't bring up anything new.
Challenge his credibility on that. If you believe he wasn't telling the truth, you can challenge his credibility. This is not your opportunity to simply present evidence in your own defense. You can do that in your own case. So your questions need to be tied to what he testified about before, or that go to his credibility. So what I'm trying to figure out is whether we're accomplishing that. And I said I would give you some leeway to tie it up here.
I just don't understand that I'm not allowed to just ask him relevant questions to this case, like
Relevant questions to his
to
testimony.
what he testified for.
Okay.
So I'm not allowed to ask him any new questions that are off that topic. You're saying?
Unless they pertain to his credibility. In other words, this is not your opportunity to present your case. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. I'm a rest if you can just stick around and just in case I want to present my case.
Okay.
I have no further questions for this witness.
You may step down, sir.
Can I just call him back up as a witness?
Yes, but first you gotta let the state.
Oh, I gotta let the prosecution. Okay.
Sir,
I
I'm
get
gonna
it,
ask you to remain.
Just hang on. You want him sequestered?
Yes.
And hang out in that conference room.
Yes, is it? Can we make sure that someone that this guy doesn't talk to anyone?
He's your witness.
So I have to defend him not talking to anybody else?
If you're gonna be calling him, he'll be your witness.
So,
Okay, let's proceed. Counsel, do you have any additional?
Yes, he's coming.
What?
State calls Robert Brown.
No one will that. No.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Please have a seat and spell your name. State your name and just spell your last name for the record.
Robert Brown, B-R-O-W-N-E.
How are you employed?
I am the Director of Campus Safety and Security at St. Anselm College.
And as the
Wait. What? Oh, yep. I'm just gonna move this evidence out of the way, please don't worry. Sorry, proceed.
in your role as Director of Safety and Security at St. Anselm College, what are some of what's your job function?
I oversee a department of 10 campus safety and security officers, 1 administrative assistant. I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations of the safety and security of all students, faculty, staff, and visitors at the campus. We have certain parking enforcement abilities, as well as I handle general community standards as far as conduct goes for students.
And do you handle events at the Institute of Politics in San Antonio?
Yeah, so usually my office liaisons with local law enforcement, such as Goffstown Police Department, for any large-scale events. Our particular force is obviously not sworn officers, and we don't have the capacity or the manpower to be able to solely control any of the security of any events that are larger in nature.
Do you request police details for these events?
Usually that request comes through my office. There are times when other entities on campus, as far as athletics or whatnot, that may require details. They usually do come through me, so I liaison with Goffstown PD for the hiring of those.
And on November 2nd, 2022, do you recall an event that day at the Institute of Politics?
I do. It was one of 4 debates, Grand State debates hosted by WMUR, that were going to be on the campus of St. Anselm College. It's at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics. That particular evening, it was the senatorial debates.
Did you plan that event with local law enforcement?
Yeah, so that event, similar to the 3 other ones, we kind of size up as to what we're expecting for crowds and whatnot, and determine the amount of officers and the availability of Goffstown PD to be on scene.
And you're ultimately in charge of the safety of the campus?
That's correct.
And were you expecting a big crowd for this one?
We thought that the senatorial debates were going to be a little more of a heated exchange as far as supporters coming for both parties.
And why was that?
That particular race is usually more contested because it is a national race with national implications. So we had just expected there was going to be a greater turnout for people that were going to be posted into the campaign visibility area.
Around 6:30 that night, were you present at the event?
I was.
At the Institute of Politics?
That's correct.
Do you recall an incident where you had to trespass a male from the driveway entrance side of the Institute of Politics?
I do.
Did you speak with this male personally?
I did.
Do you see that male that you trespassed from the property in this courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point him out and describe an article of clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing brown boots, sitting in the chair right in front of me with glasses.
The record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect that.
Did you at any time learn that gentleman's name?
I did not.
After the fact, did you?
I did.
What was his name?
Joseph Hart.
And why did you speak with Mr. Hart that night?
So that particular night when I got there, one of the things that was rather extraordinary is that we had Republican and Democratic supporters that were on campus, and they were actually behaving. Surprisingly enough, when we end up having political events, both parties don't get along because they usually can't occupy space on our campus until a certain time of the evening. So they usually post along the sidewalks. They're jockeying for their position to try to get there first before the other party or the other supporters do. What we were noticing that particular night was that people from the Democratic and the Republican side were both actually getting along very well and behaving very well to the, I guess, eastern side of the entrance. What I noticed, without a lot of detective work, let's say, was that there was a third party that were actually present to the east side of the entrance that were standing on the sidewalk with bullhorns, and they were obvious to have drawn their attention to themselves because of the loud rhetoric that they were spewing to both. It looked like the Democrats and the Republicans on the other side of the driveway. They were loud, to me, obnoxious. They were using swear words, stuff that would be normally would rise to the level of people that I'm responsible to protect, as far as visitors, students, faculty, and staff, would be upsetting to them.
Now that area of St. Anselm College, New Hampshire, New Hampshire Institute of Politics at St. Anselm College, is that private or public?
It is private property.
That driveway entrance, is that a private driveway?
That is a private driveway.
Did you and St. Anselm College employees set up barriers where or ropes, or where the campaign supporters could stand?
We did. So we call that particular area the campaign visibility area. We set a time frame by which the leaders of those parties know that they can come onto campus at that time. They can carry their signs. They all have to be ushered into that one particular area, and they are not allowed to roam free on campus to be able to campaign. If they want to be able to advertise for their particular candidate, they have to be in that particular area.
Now, at this time, on this day and this time, was that driveway entrance was it open for vehicles to drive on?
It was not. It was blocked off.
And was students in campus at that time?
Students were on campus, correct. It was in session.
And you wanted that area free of people?
We wanted it clean so that when the candidates approached, they were able to park in their designated spots in front of the Institute of Politics without obstruction.
Were some people permitted to be in there?
There were some freelance photographers. There were, I think WMER had a couple of folks that were outside with cameras that were doing that. Way more freelance photography than we've ever seen.
Was that all okay through St. Anselm College prior to them being there?
Yeah, so that's not my particular area of expertise, but usually what happens is that the Institute of Politics personnel will have media pre-register with them so that they're going to be on site or access to the event.
What brought your attention to the driveway area and that a gentleman needed to speak with you about being trespassed.
So I should probably back up to almost my first time of arrival on campus. I had noticed Mr. Hart and his crew, if you will, to the west side of the entrance, and when WMER came outside to stand in front of the Institute of Politics to do a live feed, he came upon them clearly on our property and obstructed their live feed, so that they had to stop, close up, and then had to have all operations as far as live feeds go on from inside.
How did he do that?
He started yelling at the reporter who was attempting to do her live feed right outside.
What was he yelling at her?
I gotta be honest, it's undiscernible stuff. I mean, it's just loud, obnoxious. I believe the words he had used were anti-Semite at some point in time. I can't remember which time he had used that, but it was clearly language to try to upset whoever was trying to do their job.
And then what brought you to him to speak with him?
So I remember when I believe it was General Bolduc who had entered into the barrier, the clean space to park. I remember Mr. Hart approaching from his perch on the sidewalk onto the campus, and by which time I remember Sergeant Hosney going over, making sure they were collapsing to make sure that any of the people that were supposed to be in the campaign visibility area were redirected to that location, and that they weren't to approach the candidate, and were pushing them back. I do remember him saying something to the fact that nobody from the campus has told him that he can't be there.
Did you introduce yourself to him and tell him your role for the campus?
At some point in time shortly thereafter I did. I identified myself as Campus Safety and Security Director, that I was a representative from the college, and that he was no longer welcome on our campus.
Have you trespassed people from St. Anselm College before?
I have.
Well within your authority?
It is.
When you told him he's not welcome on the campus, what did he say?
He said, based on what?
And was there a greater conversation?
There was. I explained to him that I thought that his behavior was inappropriate. He was loud. I thought that he was being disruptive, and that I was responsible for the students, faculty, staff, and visitors, invited visitors onto our campus. It was my responsibility for their safety, and that I thought that he was representing a danger to them based upon his behavior.
What did he do then?
So I think he questioned, so you're trespassing me, something like that, and then he referred to it as a planned trespass or something. He then said, it's a planned trespass, fuck you, you're an anti-Semite, Jew hater type of information that he had relayed to me.
Just give me a minute, I'm going to show you a video. Do you see this video on the screen here?
I can see it.
Can you describe what this area is that it's showing?
That is what we refer to as the campaign visibility area. It is mostly a cordoned off area with yellow caution tape, pretty much on the soft green space areas of that particular piece of the property on the campus.
Does this accurately depict the scene from that night?
I would say so, yes.
Now, what is this area here?
That's the entrance to the east part of the Institute of Politics.
What is this building?
That's the New Hampshire Institute of Politics.
Do you recognize that gentleman?
That's Sergeant Hosney, retired Sergeant Hosney.
Do you recognize that gentleman?
That's Mr. Hart.
Campus Safety and Security.
Is that you?
That's me.
Is this you speaking, Mr. Hart?
That's correct.
Why? You're a concept of disruption. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. You anti-Semite. Anti-Semite. You don't allow Jeremy Kaufman in. You fucking Jew hater. You piece of shit. And that was solicited trespass. That was a solicited trespass. Fuck you.
So where did he just walk to?
He walked back towards what we would say the entrance to the Institute of Politics. There is a sidewalk that kind of wraps around from there.
When he was using that language with you, calling you a fucking Jew hater, fuck you,
I was embarrassed. I know what you're gonna ask me. How did I feel? I was embarrassed.
Well, objection.
Okay,
How'd you feel?
Wait till somebody asks you.
Absolutely.
How'd you feel?
I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed for the college. I felt embarrassed for our students, our faculty, our staff. I felt embarrassed for our visitors that were there. I felt embarrassed for Mr. Hart. I felt embarrassed for mankind, really, that somebody would actually act like that.
Were you the only one that heard that?
I don't believe so.
Now, at this point, Mr. Hart has been told by you he's not welcome.
That's correct.
And it was your belief that he was told by Sergeant Hosey he's not welcome, but he wanted to. Mr. Hart?
Mr. Hart.
At this point, did you have any further contact with Mr. Hart?
So I was present when the officers had handcuffed and escorted him back away from the majority of the crowd towards the, I guess, south side of the Institute of Politics. He was followed by several of his entourage, some who I would deem to be rather somewhat harassing and intimidating for the layperson, the average layperson.
What did you do?
I assisted the officers with maintaining control of that particular area.
Yeah, I know, but this one looks like it might have come out. Officer, here! 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 Thank you, officer. Have a nice time. Listen. He's a liar on the property. From there to there. From there to there. You know that.
This area here. Can you see that area of the sidewalk?
It's very, very tough to see whether the curvature had started there or not. I can't really tell.
It seems to be. Where did the incident take place with Mr. Hart?
Kind of to my right in that picture.
Yeah, up over here?
Up kind of more about a 45 to my right hand.
Okay.
We have him maybe show it on the screen, maybe to like point to it so he's not directing the points.
You can do that if you can point to it on the screen where you're describing, that's fine.
It's off camera, Your Honor, but somewhere over this way.
Okay.
Okay.
At this point, did you have any further contact with Mr. Hart?
So I was present when the officers had handcuffed and escorted him back away from the majority of the crowd towards the, I guess, south side of the Institute of Politics. He was followed by several of his entourage, some who I would deem to be rather somewhat harassing and intimidating for the layperson, the average layperson.
What did you do?
I assisted the officers with maintaining control of that particular area.
Yeah, I know, this one looks like it might come out,
Officer,
Officer, here! Here! Thank you, officer, have a nice day. He's quiet on the property. There to there. There to there. You know that.
This area here. Can you see that area of the sidewalk?
It's very, very tough to see whether the curvature had started there or not. I can't really tell.
It seems to be, where did the incident take place with Mr. Hart?
Kind of to my right in that picture.
Yep, up over here?
Up kind of more about a 45 to my right hand.
Okay.
Can we have him maybe show on the screen, maybe like point to it so he's not directing the points?
You could do that if you could point to on the screen where you're just grabbing, it's fine.
It's off camera here on it, but somewhere over this way. Okay?
Off to the left of the screen.
Thereabouts. Somewhere around there.
I don't think that was very clear. Can you maybe point where your, like, my feet were so you know where I was standing?
You can cross-examine him.
Okay, all right. It wasn't very clear for the record.
Because he was moving off the camera. Okay, go ahead. I mean, off the video screen.
Was the school made aware of this?
They were.
Were you involved in the meeting with the school of this?
I was.
And what was the school's reaction?
They wanted to make sure that Mr. Hart was provided with a persona non grata notification. And he and another gentleman that was in that video, who I believe you'll hear testimony from later, was as well. And if it could not possibly reflected in the court document that letter was sent certified letter to him, and it had bounced back to his last known address. So
I have no further questions.
Okay. So you're fairly familiar with the property there because you work there, correct?
correct.
Do you recognize this?
It would appear that it's some type of aerial photo towards the entrance to the Institute of Politics.
Okay. No, for the record, you recognize that. And you would say this is the area of which these scenes occur?
Mr. Chairman, correct.
Okay, all right, just a second here. Just use the Sharpie. It's easier than drawing it on the board here, since you can see it very well. Okay. Could you draw a line where they were restricting people from entering in the driveway? So that's, just for the record, he just dotted here, but is that where people weren't allowed to go past that line you just made?
That's correct. Yeah.
So was there not people everywhere around?
So they were people.
No, it would be really helpful. Why don't maybe stand on this side of him?
Okay, just like kind of do this or something?
No, I meant, like,
No,
you
over
can
here.
hold it.
So
That
the
is
judge
okay.
can see.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't matter which side you stand on.
I want to let the judge direct me, not you, okay?
Okay, that's
I just
fine.
prefer that he doesn't talk to me because he's been nasty ever since during rain and everything.
You
so-
can hold that up and so he can see
Okay,
it. Okay,
all right.
that's fine.
So when I asked you a question where people were allowed to come in, you drew a line there.
Correct, for vehicle traffic.
For vehicle traffic?
Correct.
And so no vehicles were allowed to go in that day?
Except for the invited guests.
Okay, so just people who were maybe debating and those who were authorized, what would you say?
I would say
Okay,
that's correct.
And people were, can you just like maybe show us where people were?
So the campaign visibility area was drawn along the grassy area, as I mentioned in my previous testimony.
Yep.
So people were allowed there. People could be on the sidewalk as long as they weren't blocking the sidewalk or obstructing the road.
And what would you say the crowd over here, who were they, you know, why were they there?
I would say they were there in support of the candidate.
Okay, and there's people over elsewhere, can you show me where?
So I would say you and your people in support of your candidate were over here.
When you say you people, your people, what
Correct.
do you mean?
The people that you were hanging with?
Do you assume that I hang with them?
Correct.
Okay. Note that for the record, that he's assuming that I hang with these people.
Your Honor, they did have libertarian.
Listen, there's no question.
Oh, sure.
I just noted for the record. And would you say that Hassan supporters and Bolduc supporters, they're also, you know, maybe friends amongst each other as well?
I can't make that determination.
But you can make the determination.
Objection. That's going to be speculated by friends.
If that's the case, I'm objecting for him assuming that I'm friends with everyone
Okay, I don't
in
want
the other
anyone to speculate.
instances.
I want you to, if you have information, you can state the basis for your information.
Well, I'm going to object
Otherwise,
to
we
his
don't
assumption
know.
of who I know and.
I don't want anyone to assume anything. I want you to speculate.
Thank
If
you.
you have an
So-
observation, you are free to make what those observations are.
So I'm going to object to his statements about assuming I know and my entourage and all those statements. I want to strike that from the record if we could please. Because he doesn't know that, he's assuming that and speculating.
Okay? I will strike what he said, he assumes, okay? He can testify to his observations.
I understand that, I understand. But he wants to object on the speculation, so I'm going to do the same.
I understand.
Okay, so you noted that there were people over here and that, let's just call them maybe libertarians for now. Libertarians, right?
As you wish.
And we recognize those as Kaufman supporters, correct?
I believe that they had signs.
Yes, okay. And was Kaufman allowed in these debates?
I don't know.
So, I mean, who was allowed in these debates?
I don't know. They weren't my debates.
So you were just there to do security?
That's my job.
Are you lying, sir?
That is my job.
No, to lie.
Am I lying about that's my job?
Okay, wait, we're gonna be confusing there. So, you didn't know what you were there for as security, you just security came?
So I was there for the primary purpose of the Granite State debates.
Okay.
Whoever is allowed to debate and not, that is not in my purview.
So you didn't see, like, what two candidates? You know that there was a debate going on, right? So-
Objection, Your Honor. I don't see the relevance.
It's gonna be there, it's gonna come up.
Okay, I'm gonna give him some leeway. Go ahead.
Okay, so you were aware that there was a debate going on, correct?
I was.
And you were aware that there were, how many candidates debating?
I know that there was a Democratic and a Republican side, and I know that there were also Libertarian signs as well.
But they weren't in the debate, like no Libertarian candidate was in the debate?
If you say so.
Are you aware of the ballot, the primary ballot?
Objection, Your Honor. How much leeway?
Okay,
Getting there.
Ask the witness what he knows. If he doesn't know, he doesn't know what he's gonna say. He
Okay.
doesn't know. But otherwise, you can go ahead and ask him. I'm assuming that we're gonna tie this up.
Okay, you're aware that there's Bolduc, Son, and there's a third candidate running for this position that the debate was occurring for.
Again, I would say if you say so. I just was not up on
Do
it.
you think it was just a coincidence that people were holding Kaufman signs?
I don't know why I assumed that they were hanging signs just like everybody else was for their candidate.
You didn't watch the news at all about who was running for office? I mean,
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Okay, he's already testified. He can testify what he saw, what he knows, what he did.
okay,
I don't need to hear everything he knows about the
I kind of
campaigns going on.
I kind of
Okay.
do. This is part of the relevance of why I said things or why things went down and.
Okay, he can testify what he knows is there. If you ask him a question,
Right.
he doesn't know the answer to, he says he doesn't know.
On
His knowledge, but I can't, I don't know how far we're gonna go into the general who was running for
Fair
office,
enough.
and what campaigns are going on. I'm afraid we're gonna.
Okay,
get too far.
I'll change it.
Okay.
Were you aware of any previous incidents occurring at so-called debates?
Any incidents of unrest?
Yes.
Certainly, I'm sure there has been.
Well, as in recent recent times with those candidates and that sort of,
If there were, I don't recall at this point.
When I was trespassed from the property, there was that, a line, an area which they were patrolling. Can you show me, maybe with a Sharpie, where that was, where that line was?
So we were making sure that nobody came in past this area, and anybody that was in here was going to be funneled this way, and anybody that was over here was going to be funneled to the campaign visibility area as well. So anybody here, so anybody that was in here, they were more of our media.
Okay.
That's
And there was a line, and I appreciate you providing that, but there was also a line of which the police were preventing people from coming through the driveway. Can you show me where that line was?
I don't know where it is offhand. I just know that they were.
Okay. Where did you trespass?
You were right about here, as I recall, on that circle.
Okay.
Which,
This was
Right,
the
circle right here, Your Honor.
Okay. And when I was trespassed, did you direct me in a certain direction to leave?
I just told you to get off the property.
So you didn't signify where the property line ended and began?
That's not my job.
It's, really, so it's not your job to, so when you tell someone that you've been trespassed, it's not your job to tell them where that line starts and ends?
It's not my responsibility. If you're the one that's trespassing, I would say that you need to make sure that you understand where you're trespassing.
Was there any signs said no trespassing?
No.
Any signs that said anything about St. Anselm College?
No, but there was actually police tape and police officers and barricades that I think the average layperson would understand.
Sure.
They weren't allowed to go.
And did I cross any of those lines?
You did.
Well, which line are you talking about? You just mentioned tape, barricades, and something else.
So when you were right here, you were told that you weren't to be on the property and that you needed to leave.
Okay, did you, where did I go after you trespassed me?
You went back up to this corner up here.
Can you please put a circle on the record? Note for the record, he showed that I went to public sidewalk. Okay, and where did I go from there and I got arrested that moment?
You were right about there, as I recall, third circle.
Can you draw a line of the direction I went from the sidewalk to re-entering the property?
So I believe you went up there first, and then you went back this way.
Okay. We're going to review the footage. I just want to show the judge for the record. So, I just want to show you what can see. So he said that I was trespassed from here. I walked to here, this is correct, and then I walked back onto the property there. Okay, we're going to watch the footage.
What would you like?
Right when he trespasses me till I get arrested, I guess. So.
From the beginning?
Sure. Maybe a little bit further because I don't think I'm. All right, so this is where I'm getting trespassed, but just give it a second. Actually, I want to pause this for 1 second. Have you seen this footage before?
I have.
You have. Okay.
sir, I actually can't see this screen.
Oh, no, sorry.
Director of Campus Safety and Security. You're not Rob Blind. You're Washington Housing Construction. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. You anti-Semite. Anti-Semite. You don't let our Jeremy Goffstown in. You fucking Jew hater. You piece of shit. And that was a solicited trespass. That was a solicited trespass.
So I'm just going to get arrested right after that. So we're going to see that his statements are not accurate, I'd like to object, I'd like to strike his testimony and his statements, because he said that I went from here to there and walked back toward the property. It was clear in the video that I was walking away.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Counsel.
I'm confused as to what's going on. Is he impeaching him?
Yes.
Okay. Can he lay a proper groundwork, proper?
First of all, I understand you, I'm not gonna strike his testimony. I understand you disagree with it,
Well,
and you think it conflicts with the video, and what have you,
Yeah.
and you're entitled to take a position. I'm not gonna hear argument on whether he's credible or not. at
Okay,
this
well, I
juncture.
mean, look,
But
just
you
make
can-
note for the fact that he
if
said
you
that I
wanna
went
mark
off
that
the
as an
property.
exhibit, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm marking an exhibit that the video shows that I was going off, was going away from the property and
Okay,
then
it's your
further away from
opportunity
the
to
property.
ask him questions.
Okay, so you reviewed the footage again. Is it accurate to your statements here on the piece of paper?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you might have button hooked, but it come in a little bit and then went back out, but to me, it's a fair and accurate representation.
You're not going to retract your statements of this, what you wrote on here? Judge, you just want to note that he's not retracting his statements even after watching the footage. Just make a note. It's not accurate. Okay. Was there any violence that night?
Thankfully, no.
No. So did you see anyone with a flagpole or swing? Did anyone swing this?
Your Honor, he's already asked me.
I don't believe so.
Well, it doesn't mean it struck. We're going to...
He asked whether there was any violence, and he asked, are you probing his memory whether there was any violence? You can do that for a couple
I
of
mean, I
questions.
think this is very relevant to the scenario.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little leeway to ask about whether he recalls any violence.
Okay, were you alerted to any violence before I was trespassed from the property and arrested? Were you
Alerted to any violence? I don't recall, no.
No? Okay. Interesting. So you weren't aware of an incident of confrontation of chest bumps before, maybe earlier when it was sunny out?
Again, I don't recall. If there was, it wasn't something that was reported directly to me where I did a report on it.
Did you ever go hands-on?
No.
No? No? You didn't go hands-on when, but you called for my arrest at one point, right?
Yeah, I wanted you off the campus to begin with. And then
Right.
I was reminding the officer that he's already been warned.
So you had trespassed me and then later asked for me to be arrested. Is that accurate?
I wanted you gone. You've already been told by law enforcement, and we are then therefore pressing charges to make sure that you are charged.
Right. So when I was being arrested, were you nearby?
I was.
Okay. You didn't put hands on. You didn't touch me at all?
No.
Okay. All right. It's gonna be interesting. You didn't push me toward the property?
Objection, Your Honor. I know you're giving him leeway. However, he's asked this 3 times.
He's lying. He's lying.
Okay.
I don't know what else to tell you. We can review some of this footage to make sure it shows up.
You disagree with his testimony. He said he did not put hands on him. You can probe that question, but at some point, if he doesn't answer in a way that you find acceptable,
Perjury.
then you will have an opportunity to challenge and rebut his testimony. So, go ahead.
Where I was arrested when I saw the property?
Yes.
And you're saying right here, like you said earlier?
You were right near the entrance of the campus, which I would believe to be on property.
And you noticed a different coloration in the sidewalks, correct? Of St. Anselm and the presiding sidewalks on the road here. There's different colorations.
That's a very poor quality picture, but
Yeah, it's poor quality.
I would say that there probably is.
You would say it's maybe asphalt and concrete.
I would say that's a fair
Okay.
statement.
And when it's asphalt and the distinction of the concrete, would you say that that might be determined to be the property line?
No.
No? So where was the property line?
Property line, as I understand it, is right where the entrance to the college starts, where the driveway is, and where the road ends.
And you didn't tell me that day where the property line was?
I think I already answered that question.
Right, I'm going to clarify.
Okay, yeah. So I did not clarify for you where the property lines were.
Why not?
Because I'm not a walking GIS map at all.
Okay, so it's your responsibility as security to make sure people are removed from the property, yet you didn't show where that line was.
Objection, Your Honor, we've gone down this road twice already.
No, I asked him in his capacity as a security officer.
He's
I
asking
think
the
you've
same
asked
thing.
it before, but I'm gonna give you some leeway, but at some point, we're gonna.
Yeah, there's a
run
lot
out
of
time.
leeway given, we're in a court.
I
You know,
understand that.
I'm pro se, so
Counsel.
leeway given, in my opinion,
Sir.
because I don't have a lawyer.
Everyone's bound by the same rules.
I
I'm gonna
understand.
give you some room here, but at some point, repeatedly asking the same question, I mean, I don't have, you have to move on. So, if you wanna probe his response, go ahead.
Just give me a moment to think about what else I'm gonna ask here. Why did the police come over and deal with that situation that you saw occur where the body cam dropped just before and there was a commotion? Why were the police called over there?
I think they were over there to protect our invited guest on campus.
Okay, so in which way did you need to protect them, protect him?
Because your actions appeared like it was going to be an assault in progress.
Did I assault someone? And in that result, because I didn't assault anybody, did anybody retaliate against me?
There was definitely some people that had broken through the lines to try to make sure that there was nothing that was going to escalate, but I don't remember anything else beyond that.
Did you see pushing, shoving?
Again, I didn't. I saw people trying to keep the peace, is what I saw.
You didn't see an elbow move to my chest?
Objection, Your Honor, he's already answered that there was no violence he witnessed. He's already answered he didn't see swinging up. We're going down the same road again, and there's a lot of leeway being given here, Your Honor. We need to, can he just move this question along?
You interrupting isn't helping. Maybe I'm not perfect at being a lawyer.
Excuse me.
But I'm doing my
I'm gonna
best.
issue a ruling.
Yes.
You can ask him if he threw, somebody threw an elbow. He's already said there was no violence, he didn't say able to throw a punch, or, raise a fist, I think is the word he used. You can ask him if you saw someone throw an elbow, I think, but again, you can probe his responses, but you can't continually ask the same thing again. So you are free to ask
Okay.
every question, go ahead.
Sure. Was there any investigating or inquiry into violence that day? I'm not saying there was, okay? I'm just saying, was there an inquiry into it?
You'd have to ask the police officers that.
Okay, so as security officer, it's not something you look into?
I don't investigate anything like that when there's police presence. That would be their jurisdiction.
So you just gave up that authority to the police that day?
That's correct.
After I was arrested, where did I go?
Prior to being transported? Yes. So you will walk to the southern part of the building, away from where the gathering crowds were?
Would you say I was on the property at that point?
You still were, yes.
Still were?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll rest for right now. You can stick around.
Counsel, do you have any follow-up?
No. See if that is that.
Okay, and I
In
think you wanted
that
to
one
mark the other
too.
one as well.
So it's like B, A. Unless, is there?
Okay, the witness may step down. I can mark this as defendant's exhibit B, and when we take that down, I'll mark it as exhibit A.
Thank you.
Counsel, call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, at this point, I would ask that the body worn camera footage of Sergeant Hosney be admitted as a full exhibit as states Exhibit 1. And I can, excuse me, I can email you the downloaded copy. Or if you'd like, I could burn it on a CD. I can send it to the clerk as an email. And I'd ask that the body worn camera footage showing Director Brown interacting with Mr. Hart, and then Mr. Hart's derogatory comments and him coming back onto property B, State's Exhibit 2. And at that point, the state rests.
So the first video we saw, you're asking to mark as Exhibit 1. The second video we saw, you're asking to mark as Exhibit 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
You probably put it on a flash drive or a CD to preserve.
I won't be able to do that this afternoon.
However, while we're in trial, if you, in other words, if he's planning to use that exhibit during the course of the trial, then keep the video available. You know what I mean? And then if we need to turn it to the CD to preserve the record, we can do that. As long as we have the video on the computer during the trial, if he wants to use it in this case, we can do that.
Your Honor, what time will the court continue this trial till?
You mean today?
Yes.
I have to leave, I have to let the staff go by 4 o'clock.
We'll probably take a little bit.
I would imagine Mr. Hart's not going to be able to get his side in.
So let's talk about timing and where we're at. How much longer does the state anticipate?
State rest.
Okay. And, sir, do you anticipate testifying or calling witnesses?
Yes.
Okay. And how long do you anticipate?
It could be days. I don't know. We're gonna have to review. It's gonna be a few hours, like maybe like 4 or 5 hours of testimony. I have witnesses. I want. Should I just call my next witness?
Well, yeah, I was just trying to get a sense if we are gonna have to presumably schedule another day. I was trying to figure out which time it would be.
Okay.
How many witnesses do you have here that are going to testify?
Well, I'd like to call Don Bolduc right now.
Is he here?
I don't know. I subpoenaed him, so if he's not here, maybe a bench warrant.
I guess the question is, how many are here to testify right now?
I don't know if he's here or not.
Okay. Do you only have one witness?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, how many witnesses?
At least 2.
Okay. And how long do you think it's gonna take for those 2 witnesses to testify?
Well, I subpoenaed Don Bolduc to be here today, and the court should have received my subpoena notice and as well as prosecution.
I actually have a copy of subpoena, sir, but it does not appear to have been signed by a justice of the peace, court reporter, or judge.
Well, I gave it to the court. Actually, I gave it to her the other day. Yeah, it's a stamped copy.
Well, I understand that. It says that you delivered this to Mr. Bolduc on 10/17.
That's correct.
Okay, but I'm not sure that you're authorized to issue a subpoena. So
I didn't do it myself.
Well, no one, you're the only person whose signature's on this document.
Well, I mean, I had somebody else do it for me. I was there.
Okay,
in presence.
is there another, I only have one that's not issued, it's not signed by anyone to issue a subpoena. So the question is, do you have another version that's, a subpoena that's signed by someone authorized to issue a subpoena?
I thought I was authorized to issue a subpoena
And what is the basis for your authorization to issue a subpoena?
because he's a witness to his. I
What's your
mean,
authority to subpoena somebody?
he's a witness.
I'm not, what's your authority to issue a subpoena? Are you a justice of the peace?
No, no. I'm average Joe. I want to do my own. I don't want to hire a sheriff.
No, that's the service part. The issuance of a subpoena, if you're asking the court to issue a subpoena, there's a process to do that. This, however, is not, this does not compel it. It's not a valid subpoena. It's
So
not
you're
a
saying
valid
that
subpoena to issue.
the state, the court's not recognizing it as a subpoena? I mean, I gave it to the court to sign.
Sir, I'm not recognizing this as a subpoena because it's never been issued by anyone. the only person whose signature is on here, it says, you signed a return of service. You're signing, there's a return of service saying you served this on October 17th
I did.
at 2:35 PM on Donald Bolduc. However, there's no signature issuing, there's no
Right,
signature.
maybe I'm
issuing a
asking the
subpoena.
court to authorize it. I think that was the process,
That may be a
right?
different question, but this does not compel this gentleman's attendance.
Well, I served my video footage of me serving. And I gave it to the prosecutor, and I gave it to the court, and I thought the court authorizes the subpoenas.
Okay, sir, the court is not recognizing this as a valid subpoena because it's never been issued by someone with the authority to issue a subpoena.
Can we have
So,
that authority authorized?
if you're asking the court to issue a subpoena to someone, that may be a different question. Tell me who is here, if this person's not here, I'm not gonna issue a bench warrant for someone who
Okay,
not received
all
a
right.
valid subpoena.
Apparently I did it wrong.
So, do you have any other witnesses?
Yeah, Frank Staples.
How long do you think he's?
Actually, I would like to probably call back up the current, the witnesses that testified today. Yeah.
Maybe in the time we have left, you were gonna call back in your case.
Okay.
The witness who
Actually-
testified earlier that you wanted to put on the stand.
Wait a second.
Maybe we can do that while he's here.
Actually, I'd like to make an objection since this paperwork was not signed by Justice of the Peace, which would be my complaint, complaints.
Is this the amended complaint?
Mhm. And I'd like to force a dismissal because of the proceedings occurring without the Justice of the Peace signing it.
Counsel, what's your position?
Your Honor, in my motion, I have attached, my original complaints are KP. My motion attached what I was looking to do to make it more convenient and cleaner for the court. You granted the motion, and you didn't indicate whether you wanted me to do the amendment on the already complaint or to swear these new ones in. So they couldn't have been done because I guess we didn't address that in the motion. Also, the state is free to amend the complaint up until there's a finding. Does not.
Without a Justice of the Peace signature, submitted whatever they freely doesn't seem right.
According to the law, yes.
They signed off on the original one because it was worded the way it was. When you change the wording, it should be signed off by a Justice of the Peace again. So I'd like to dismiss this entire case, both charges. Here's my dismissals. And based off of new evidence, according to the lack of prosecuting evidence.
Sir, I just want to point out, at the bottom of the complaint, I'm going to deny your motion to dismiss. I don't, this is not a class A misdemeanor, is it?
No,
Class B.
they don't need to be signed.
Class B misdemeanor and a violation, am I correct?
You're
Yes.
correct.
Okay, then I'm going to deny your motion to dismiss. But while we have some time, maybe if you wanted to recall the gentleman who testified earlier regarding the video, maybe we can do that while he's here today.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Rather than having him back, so why don't if you want to call the officer in your case, let's do that now.
That's not a bad idea. We'll do that. But I'd like to submit these motions to dismiss while it's my case now. Can I do that? The motions to dismiss now, since it's my time of
Is
case?
it the copy of the one that we talked about earlier,
Yes.
or are those different?
These are the same, these are the.
Okay, so you want to renew your motion to dismiss?
Yes, please.
Mr. Hart, what video would you like?
Just a moment, we're dealing with this.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reserve the ruling on the motion to dismiss. I'm going to decide with the merits of the case. However, bear in mind that the court, as we often do, can separate the burden of proof. On a motion to dismiss, court views the facts and the evidence in light most favorable to the state. However, we're going to go forward with your case, sir, and I will reserve the ruling on the motion to dismiss. and there's a different burden of proof on the merits, beyond reasonable doubt. And it's not unusual for the court to proceed with the remainder of the case and reserve the motion to dismiss decided at the same time. So I'm going to do that. Without prejudice. Go ahead.
He puts into the state takes no position.
I understand, and you indicated earlier that that's not
Okay, just wanted
accurate.
to make sure.
You previously objected to his motion to dismiss,
Yes.
And that wasn't on my behalf. Technically, it was my lawyer doing that, and I dropped him, so I wanted to do it on my own. And when I talked to him earlier, it's not that I was like trying to misstate him. He said, I'm not going to make any statement on that, and I'm wait. I have 10 days, so that's why I wrote that.
Are you objecting to the renewal of his motion to dismiss?
I made my same objection.
Okay, and as I said, I'm going to reserve the link.
Okay.
And let's have you call the gentleman who testified earlier.
Not the husband?
Yes. I mean, only if you want to call him. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I want to call him.
You seated, sir. You understand you are still under oath? Okay.
That's okay. So Matt, you can start. Matt, was yes.
No, I'm sorry. I just said that you still under oath.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. That's all right.
All right. So did I already ask you that if I was loud? Was I being loud?
When we had our conversation,
Yeah.
me and when we were talking,
Like you testified earlier.
yes,
Okay. Was other people loud?
yes.
Would you say both sides, and if there was two sides, it would be the Maggie's son, Bolduc versus the Libertarians? Would you say like that was the conflict occurring there?
I'm not sure what
Okay.
parties were going back and forth. Everybody seemed to be equally talking.
And all right, so when I was trespassed from the property, and I'm gonna bring back up the map. When I was trespassed from the property, where would you say I was?
By Director Browning?
Yes, yes. I mean, wait, I guess that's a good question. Let me start over again. Did you trespass me from the property?
I told you this is private property. On our first conversation we had.
Yes, okay.
And then we went back and forth. I said, it's private property, you walked away. And then you re-engaged me a short time later, again. And then that's when Director Browning came over and told you that you were no longer welcome on the property.
Did you get his attention, or did he just come over?
He just came over.
Okay, all right. And could you maybe show us on this map where that occurred?
When all three of us were talking?
Sure.
It was probably in this area right about here.
Okay, and you say like you guys were like guarding a sort of a line, I would say, like from in the driveway, like so. Here's the bank we go in. You guys are drawing some sort of like line physically preventing people from going by.
Not really. I wouldn't say so.
But you're using your bodies as sort of like a protective area. It was like a protected area.
We were just told to watch this whole entire area. We weren't
Okay.
really, we were just kind of roaming around.
Okay, and when I was trespassed from the property, was I directed to a certain direction?
No.
Did you? You didn't direct me?
I did
at all?
not.
And when you observed that I left, right?
Yes.
And you said, where did I go when I left?
Last time, after our conversation with Director Browning, all three of us,
Yep.
you walked away and you were heading back towards the sidewalk. And the last time I saw you, you were right in this area, right about here.
Okay.
And then I turned and talked to someone else.
Okay, we could bring up the footage real quick. I don't know if you want to do your password and stuff. I'm going to bring up the footage
So I don't see how you deal with it, right?
That's why I'm going like this, so you can bring the footage.
You want it from the beginning?
You can go a little further. I'll just use the arrow key real quick. Alright, so this is where I was trespassed. And then we're gonna watch where I go.
You hater! You piece of shit! And that was a solicited trespass! That was a solicited trespass! Fuck you!
Would you say that was the spot that you marked on the map?
Of what?
Where you said I went to after being trespassed? Would you say that was the spot you marked on the
The
map?
last time I saw you, actually, I think you were heading towards the sidewalk area.
So let me just go back for a second here. Just play it again. So you saw where I walked, correct?
You were walking back towards the sidewalk, yeah.
Okay. And maybe could you mark that? Like, is that where you said I walked?
Well, last time I saw you, you were walking back towards this direction. Right.
Toward that direction, but where exactly was I when? Okay, all right. I mean, pretty significant. In which direction did I go from the sidewalk?
Now you're walking back across the driveway.
Will you say I'm going further into the property, or
Hard to say.
is it? Can you? Let's watch again, and maybe we can figure that out.
That was a solicited trespass! Fuck you!
So you saw me going from here, and then sort of that way,
Yeah, you
right?
kind of lead it in, like you're heading back in towards the property again. But you're still on the property regardless. The driveway is the driveway.
Okay. Okay, you knew that I was still on the property. You gotta see. If you saw that I was still on the property, would you have said something to me?
I would have.
But you didn't.
I didn't see you.
So you didn't see me.
I did not. I was talking with another gentleman.
So, I mean, you don't exactly know where I walked to then?
No, like I said, the last time I saw you, you were walking in the direction of the sidewalk. Then I lost contact with you. I was talking to another gentleman. The video shows me talking to another gentleman.
Okay. Is this your body cam footage?
It is not.
It's not your body cam. Who's that officer right there on the right?
That's Sergeant LaRoche.
LaRoche. Okay, so there's more than two officers.
Correct.
Okay. So, from this footage, do you think that the officer should have? Let me rephrase this. Is it police procedure to trespass someone from a property but not let them know where those lines were? Or maybe direct or
St.
escort them?
Anne's property.
What's that?
You were told you weren't welcome on St. Anne's property.
Could you see the confusion that may have been the property line?
I don't know. It's up to interpretation.
So if you don't know, then
Maybe you should ask.
maybe ask people.
Ask St. Anne's property security.
Okay. Do you think it's St. Anselm's security's job to let me know where to go?
Objection.
I think you knew better.
Objection. He's asking him what St. Anselm Security's job is, Your Honor.
Was he not hired by St. Anselm?
Here's what I like, he can answer if he knows the answer to that question.
I don't.
Okay, so just make it clear, let's rephrase this. The security, the campus security hired Goffstown PD, correct?
The college, yes.
Okay, and they didn't let you know where the lines were of the property?
No.
They didn't? Interesting. Note that for the record, Judge. Okay, so you couldn't tell me on the screen right now where the property lines begin and end?
Well, you're in the driveway, it's maintained by St. Anselm College.
Okay, but how do you know that?
I've never seen a town plow there. It's not marked on a street map that it's owned by the town.
Have you seen sidewalks before?
I have.
Well, did you say that those sidewalks were public sidewalks?
The one where you're standing on, yes, but the ones leading to the college are maintained by the college.
And if
They're different material.
and say, yes, correct, there's asphalt and there's concrete.
Correct.
St. Anselm would be the concrete. And would you say that, what kind of sidewalk was I on before I approached Don Bolduc?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm not sure.
He testified he didn't see him.
Well, he just watched the footage.
You can ask him about what he's looking at on the screen. He didn't, he said he didn't see him.
Your Honor, I would ask that you treat this court and counsel with respect
Yes,
also.
and direct their comments to the court, not.
Understood. We want you to get into All right, so you can see the different colored sidewalks here on both the left and the right.
Correct.
And you say this is what kind of sidewalk is this?
It appears to be concrete.
Okay, and you would say that's St. Anselm's?
St. Anselm's problem.
And then you can see over here on the right, what kind of concrete do you think that is? It's darker in color. If you want to come up, you can.
No, it's fine. It could be asphalt.
And then you see a color change here, just a little bit.
Dirt and grass.
Okay. And if we were to look at the GSI survey,
Your Honor, he's already testified that he cannot see what that GIS is.
that was. Please don't. Oh. Well, she's bringing it up. I don't know why you're.
You have to ask permission.
Oh, may I approach?
This is this the you're looking for? I did think he testified previously, that could have identified.
This is actually
Is that not what
the
you're
other.
looking for?
The, that's the other
You're looking for the.
testimony. Yes, but I had to draw it because he said it was too blurry.
Okay,
Do you think?
here you go. You wanna ask him
You
about
want
it?
a clean one? Here you go.
All right, I'll show him that one. I know you said it was blurry earlier, but can you recognize the discoloration of sidewalks?
This is lighter in color, that's darker in color.
Okay. And that darker color sidewalk can be seen closer to the public sidewalks as well? Do you recognize that?
Correct.
Okay. And would you say the asphalt was probably laid there by the town?
Objection.
I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
Or how about, all right, I'll rephrase it. Would you say the average person would recognize the sidewalk changes, the color change in the sidewalk as maybe property lines?
Some people might, some people might not.
Okay, that's good.
Interpretation.
That's good enough. You don't want it? All right. Just check. Do you believe in free speech?
Yep.
Do you think swearing can be considered free speech?
Objection, Your Honor. He's asking the witness to testify to a legal definition, come to a legal conclusion.
I'm asking for his personal, professional opinion as a police officer. I'm not asking for legal determination.
I'm not sure you can state a legal conclusion, but you can ask him what his understanding is.
Okay. So would swearing be considered free speech?
Sure.
Have you heard of any Supreme Court rulings that it's free speech to swear?
I have not.
You haven't? So has anyone ever flicked off a cop and gotten away with it, or they get arrested?
No, it's allowable.
Okay. And like saying "fuck you" is acceptable?
Acceptable, it's probably not, I personally wouldn't say it, but.
You would say it's tasteless, right?
Correct.
But not unlawful. Okay. Would you say you're a fucking Jew hater is free speech?
The way it's going nowadays, yes. But some people are gonna interpret that to be disrespectful and maybe enticing a fight.
Enticing a fight. So did I use fighting words? Sorry. Is saying "fuck you," you're a Jew hater, is that fighting words?
It all depends on the person.
That's a good answer. Hang on a second. But the thing is that as you as a police officer,
Judge,
would
he's leading, this is direct.
I guess I did a little bit there. I admit. Take it back. All right. So as a police officer, someone said "you fucking Jew hater," would you arrest them?
I would not.
You would not. But you did.
Not based on that.
You did. Okay, so this is the complaint here it's a violation. So this wasn't the arresting offense, you're saying?
The arresting offense was a criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. But so would you say it's a violation to say "you fucking Jew hater"?
Specifically, just that statement left alone?
Yeah. Would you consider that disorderly conduct?
On by itself?
Yeah.
I would say probably not by itself. It has to be,
I don't want any probabilities. I want a yeses and noses, please.
as far as, what was the question?
Is it disorderly conduct? Would you arrest someone for disorderly conduct if they said "you fucking Jew hater"?
Just that alone?
Sure.
No.
Okay, great. Note that for the court, please. I'm going to bring up the criminal trespass law. Could you please, this is the criminal trespass law for New Hampshire, could you please read the part where I violated the law? Or maybe circle it, I'll give you a pen. You can circle it on there. Thank you. Yeah. I know it's difficult. Actually, does anyone have a pen that I can pull? I got it. That's fine. He's got it. Also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just want to show the prosecution, you circled knowing or privileged, he enters. He noted that this is evidence. You circled the parts that I violated the law, which I asked them to do.
Your Honor, I guess I'm not even objecting anymore because the leeway given. I don't know what's even going on.
I was charged with this criminal trespass.
It's a court of law.
Okay.
And I've lost any sense of which rules of evidence we're following, if we are.
Here's the bottom line, the court's gonna make legal determinations in this case. If you wanna submit that as a piece of evidence, I will accept it, I'll give it the weight it deserves, but ultimately, it's the court who's gonna make legal findings in this case.
All right, I'm going to submit this though as evidence.
I object.
And I'm gonna take it and give it the weight it deserves, sir.
Okay, I'll ask questions based off of
The
this.
legal determinations here, but if you'd like to submit that, I will allow you to do it.
Yeah, I'll submit it.
Object on a few reasons if you'd like.
You just objected several times. I'm
Hearsay.
gonna
And
continue
he's
that.
allowed to
It's a
state his
hearsay.
Sorry, you've already objected twice. You
Excuse me,
overruled.
he has a right to state his objection.
Illegal, it's hearsay, Your Honor, for one. It's a legal conclusion for two. I'm just stating my objection.
Okay, and we submitted a copy of what, without frankly looking this up, I don't know if it's an exact copy of the statute, I'm thinking, assume that it is based on your representation, however. I understand that's what you're submitting, it's a copy of RSA 635:2
Yes.
for some period of time.
May I just hold on to this? Thank you. Okay. So you said that it was, you circled here knowing.
Your Honor, object. I don't think
Testify.
there's been no ruling on my objections.
And your objection overruled, the court said that the court would accept it and give it the weight it deserves. Sir, where are we going with this?
Well, if he's saying I was knowingly trespassing, then I want him to testify on that.
Okay. Go ahead, counsel.
I renew my objection.
It's what I'm being charged with, I don't get it.
You're asking him legal conclusions, okay?
All right, so let's go like this.
It's not what he's going to testify to. The court's not gonna allow you to ask him to explain the law.
He already has, Your Honor.
So if you wanna submit that, you can. Ultimately, what I'm telling you is the court is going to make the legal determinations in this case. If you wanna ask him what transpired, what he observed, what he saw, etc., you are free to do that. That is not necessarily a legal conclusion.
I'm gonna do my best to try to avoid this little conflict here, but I'm gonna, because I'm pro se and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm not trying to cause a problem, but I'm gonna continue to try
Ask
to.
him questions regarding factual information that you are seeking to elicit from him.
Okay. Would you say this criminal trespass law is accurate? A person is guilty of criminal trespass if knowing that he is shot.
Okay, that is not a factual, you're not asking him for factual information.
Yeah, I'm asking if this is accurate law.
Okay. This objection is sustained. Sir,
Okay.
I've tried to explain this. You can ask him fact questions.
Okay. Okay. When did you see me again after you trespassed me from the property? And you said that you somehow were diverted and then you saw me again. When was that?
It was after Director Brownie had told you you were no longer welcome on the property.
Mm-hmm.
You walked back towards the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
A few seconds later, I heard some commotion, and I was directed towards the other side of the parking lot. And that's where I saw you with Officer Gamala and another campaigner.
Did you see any violence?
At that time, no.
At all that night? No. You didn't see people pushing and shoving and maybe a little roughing up going on? You didn't see any of that?
No.
You didn't see an elbow?
I did not.
Okay. Did you see the head of security go hands-on at all?
I did not.
No? And then did you put cuffs on me?
I did not.
No? Did you direct me anywhere after I was in cuffs?
Originally, no.
Okay, so where was it where you next saw me after trespass? I'm like, not just seen, but like had interaction, you were guiding me or whatever.
After we placed handcuffs on you, we then walked you towards the rear of the parking lot.
And you would say I was on St. Anslem property at that moment?
Yes.
And where did they take me? Where did you take me?
To the rear of the property.
The rear of the property? Is that usually normal when someone is trespassed from a property that they get taken further into that property?
Well, we were waiting for the transport car. Normally, we would have a car there, but we didn't at that particular time, so we had to have radio in for a car to come transport you. So we just wanted to get away from the crowd.
So that's a normal behavior to
Sure.
bring someone onto the property they were just trespassed from?
You were in our custody.
So, okay. And you guys were providing security detail
Correct.
work there. Okay.
What sort of briefing did you get from the security before you even started this job? Did the security give you any briefing about the event?
As far as what?
Of what was going to happen today?
No, they were just instructed that the parking lot was off limits, and that was pretty much it. They didn't want anybody around there.
And were there people around there?
There were other people, yes.
Typically, who did you see in those areas?
I don't know who they were.
Would you say that they had cameras?
They could have.
How long were you there that day? Like, how early did you show up to St. Anselm College?
I think I started at 5. I'm not sure the exact time.
Okay. I'd like to show a little bit of footage again of, and I wanted him to say where he, I guess I want to show the footage and ask you where you saw me again, or we had interaction with me again.
I believe we've already gone over this.
Judge, I might not be perfect with my argument, but I'm trying to build it to where I need it to be.
Excuse me.
Yes.
And I want you to keep asking the same questions again if you need to follow.
Where do you want this?
Provide further follow-up, you can do that.
Where do you want it?
I can do that. Okay. Maybe just raise your hand at the point where you saw, would you say something?
Right, he testified he couldn't see him.
No,
Yeah, he testified previously as to when he stopped seeing him.
this video is a lot longer, and I understand what he's saying, but that's not in the context of what I was going with. I'm asking him to say when he had interaction with me again, because it's kind of like a scrambly video, but like, this is very long.
Ask him to, go ahead. I don't want to repeat the process of where you were going. Go ahead.
I understand that. So we're gonna watch it from here. You had just testified that you saw no violence. Would you recognize that as violence?
It appears that's not my body camera.
No, I know. I'm not asking if it was body cam. I'm asking you if you recognize this as violence.
In that video?
Yeah.
It sounds like there might be some pushing going on.
Would you consider pushing violence?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I guess his statements earlier of the violence is...
Listen, it's not your opportunity to comment on the evidence. I need you to finish your question.
I mean, I'm questioning his testimony now because he admitted earlier...
This is your opportunity to ask him questions, not to make an argument. Go ahead.
I understand. Can I just say one thing? Is that if he had made a statement earlier that there was this happening and then he contradicts that statement, is that not perjury?
Counsel, this is your opportunity to ask him questions. Go ahead.
I guess that doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. More violence. Yes, there is. Did you recognize what Bolduc had said after I approached him?
No, I told you before.
Okay.
I didn't see anything, or after we had our conversation.
Okay, we'll play until you know where you came about. Yeah?
Okay.
that you over here? Or is that you right there?
It appears to be, yes, I would say so.
Okay. And what do you seem to be doing right there?
It looks like we're holding on to you.
Okay. And you recognize where I am right now?
We're in the driveway of Stanton's property.
All right, like the position of where we are in the driveway. Okay.
Thank you, officer. He's a liar on the property. There to there. There to there. You know that. You walked right there. You walked right there. You didn't see it, so you arrested before. Wow.
And what are you doing right there? It seems like you were calling for a cruiser. It's
Probably. Probably a transport car, yes.
Okay. All right, let's watch a little more here.
Yeah, he's arrested. I didn't arrest him. Gentlemen, you gotta remember, what's the crime? You saw the crime. On the property. You saw the crime. That's what you mean. That's what you mean. You saw the crime. You saw the crime.
What was it?
Ask the bailiff to step back from him, please.
I didn't trespass. Did you see it? Did you see it? So I was protected. Who was over there? Who's the complaining party? Who is it? Who's the complaining?
Okay. So you brought me behind the police station, the college after that. Let's see. Did you write this complaint statement for the violation?
Honor. Objection.
What? I want to know who wrote this. I don't even know who wrote it.
I think it's on it.
Where is it?
Plate has the name on the bottom, not the name of this witness.
Oh, Colin. But he's the one that you made these statements? I'm not sure if I get this or not.
Excuse me, sir, I need you to go back to the council table.
I'm just curious to.
Okay, do you have any further questions for this
I do.
witness?
I do.
Okay, well, then we need to hurry up because we're out of time, so go ahead.
Want to just continue?
Well, I want to know how much further we have to go here.
I mean, I have a lot more.
What is it? Tell me where we're going with this.
Well, I'm going to be bringing up my own footage and everything too. I have 12 different camera angles. I'm going to bring it all up because might as well to refresh all their memories about how much
Okay,
violence.
sir, I need to know what more we need from this witness.
I'd like to do more
And
questions.
give me an offer of approval about what that's going to be.
Well, I'm going to show some footage of 12 different camera angles to him, as well as every witness. I mean, they cover all different kinds of angles of violence and mistreatment, and so I want to cover it all. I want to show how there's.
Sir, okay, tell me what you're going to do with this witness, because I need to estimate exactly how much time it's going to take.
It could be several hours.
Okay, and what is going to happen within those hours?
I'm gonna
What
show him-
exactly are you going to ask him about?
I'm going to show them more footage from different camera
Of the
angles.
same conversations that we saw earlier?
It's different perspectives.
Okay, of the conversations that we saw.
And it's going to show perspectives of where he was and where other people were, where I was, that sort of thing.
Tell me how many other witnesses you're going to have.
Well, we have,
Your Honor, he provided the witness list to me in the court. He's got Chris Egger, Don Bolduc, Kevin LaRoche, officers on scene, head of security, Brown.
Okay, you may step down, sir.
we can strike Chris Eager from the list. I like to have them sequestered.
I need to determine where we're going from there and how long it's gonna take.
I don't know, it could be a
Okay,
day
it's
or
not
two.
gonna be days and I don't know, I need to have some, an estimate.
right to a fair
so I can
trial.
Determine how much more time on the camp, how much more, and then courtroom time I need. And I'm just trying to, it doesn't have to be an exact number, but I need to get some idea so I can schedule.
All I can say is, as long as it takes to have a fair trial.
And what do you anticipate that amount of time is?
I have several hours of video footage. I have,
He would need.
excuse me, I was talking. And I have other witnesses that I'd like to present.
Okay, so.
Shut down.
Your Honor, he. It's a court of law, and there are rules and
I'm going to
procedures.
schedule a few hours. And presumably, I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't be able to get through that. This witness will finish testifying. I understand you have a couple of other witnesses. The videos, I assume, are going to be short, only because this one was only a matter of seconds. And so even if there's multiple videos, presumably they're only going to be a matter of seconds each. If they're of the same conversations, their video's not going to be an hour long, because the conversation was an hour long. So if I schedule a half a day, that should be more.
Yeah, of course, of course.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does. I can't determine how long it's actually gonna take. I mean, I wish it's just a half a day. I've been crossing, but I can't guarantee that.
Okay, but here's the bottom line. We're certainly going to give you an opportunity to do a fair trial, but there doesn't seem to be any reason why we can't do that in a few hours' time. So, we're going to reschedule this, and I will find a opportunity on the docket, and we'll put it on the calendar. Okay?
All right.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to take that
Oh,
and mark it.
Can we just make sure that all the witnesses are not talking to each other, not in their presence?
Okay, here's the bottom line. I'm not even sure who some of those folks are, so I'm not gonna issue any directives about what they're doing. And I anticipate that, some of them, one or more of the officers, they work together, because presumably they're gonna talk to each other or something. I don't know if you're planning on telling the other police officers when they work for the Goffstown Police Department. So, that is a different set of questions regarding whether we're gonna sequester witnesses. I need to take down this, document that I can have.
You want to do it, or? I'm just making sure that the witnesses don't talk to each other and that they're not allowed to do that.
Here's the bottom line. I don't want the witnesses coordinating their testimony. However, I need to put this on. Oh, okay. But I don't know whether any of these people have other reasons why they interact with each other or communicate with each other in a non-position. I should demonstrate to take care of that.
I just want to say that.
Okay, so we're gonna reconvene on the date that we, schedule on the next topic.
May I just ask, the best way, I'm not asking for legal advice or anything like that, but I'm trying to get that subpoena to work. Do I get a justice of peace to sign it and that's it?
If you, so this person has your witness list?
Yeah, I tried to subpoena him, he said it didn't work.
If you want to subpoena a witness who's on your witness list, you have to issue a witness statement through someone authorized to issue a subpoena. That person could be a justice of the peace.
You can't do yourself.
I personally am not going to do it. Doesn't mean that you can't use someone else who has the authority to issue a subpoena. You know what I mean?
I just want to understand that the authority only comes from
Excuse me.
certain people.
There are people with the authority to issue subpoenas. The clerk of the court can issue a subpoena, certain lawyers can issue subpoenas, justice of the peace can issue subpoenas. If you issue a valid, if a person authorized to sign a subpoena issues a valid subpoena, then that's fine. If you're asking the court for assistance with that, then you're asking the court for assistance with that, we'd be happy to assist with that.
Yes,
I
please.
personally am not going to sign the subpoena.
Please, can you guys help get the subpoena done?
If you want to have somebody, is there somebody in the court who can issue a subpoena? Okay,
I appreciate that.
thank you.
Who do I talk to now to issue?
All rise.
Okay. Gotta love cameras. Right, press? You like, yeah?
Please rise.
Judge, you are on the record. This is State versus Joseph Hart.
Please be seated. Okay. We are here for the continuation of the trial. The matter of State versus Joseph Hart. I have a request to record today. The name that begins with A, I'm not entirely sure I can read that. That person will identify themselves. Is that you,
Well,
sir?
the idea is anon as an anonymous, but yeah, here we go.
Okay, so it's you with the camera.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else in the room? Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm already registered.
Okay,
I don't know the clerk. She told me that she was gonna make you aware for any objections.
okay. And tell me who you are with.
Press an inch now.
Okay. Is there anybody else that I should know about? Okay, that's fine. Party, as long as you don't disrupt the proceedings. And comply with the rules of the court, it's fine.
It goes for everybody, right?
I'm sorry.
It goes for everybody.
Goes for everyone in the room.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that was not directed at
No,
you, sir,
you're
it was
fine.
directed at universally. Okay, so, if the parties are ready to proceed, I have the exhibits. Last time there is State's Exhibits 1, 2, Defendant's Exhibits A, B, and C, including there was a diagram from the panel. I have that, if I can use that again. Parties ready to proceed?
I'd like to call the head of security from St. Anselm College to the stand.
Your Honor, I'd ask, I don't know if the last witness, I didn't have a chance to, cross-examine him.
He already finished with him. I think he was on the stand last.
Well, let's talk about where we left off. The state had rested and the defendant started his case. He called a witness and he called him on direct.
Right.
What you're saying, you have not yet cross-examined that witness.
No.
All right, you can go ahead and proceed.
Bring that witness back up. Can the parties hear me?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
faint, but I can
Okay.
hear you.
If that changes, just let me know and I'll try to.
Can I? This is just a re-examination, right? So, like, I was talking to him last, so he's re-examining him. Is that how it goes?
It's not a re-examination.
Or-
I believe you're on cross.
Cross-examination.
Yes,
That's what I
Your
meant.
Honor.
That's what I meant.
Okay, before you proceed, looks like I have another camera in the back. Can the person who just brought the camera in identify yourself?
Freaking?
Okay. Who I believe is also, is registered as a
Yes, they are.
media outlet. Again, I just want to remind all the parties they need to comply with the rules regarding recording in the courtroom. Other than that, it's fine. So, my recollection is that you were going to start the cross-examination.
So, Your Honor, this is originally, I had called.
You called him
Sorry,
in the
I was
state's
thinking,
case, and now he called.
Yes,
in
this is
the
correct.
Defendant's case, he did direct examination. Now you're going to cross this witness.
Yes.
Okay, we're all on the same page. Have you raised your right hand? Do you swear that any testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Please be seated.
Good afternoon. Where we are, just picking back up. Can you just state your name?
It's Matthew Hosting.
Mr. Hosey, just very briefly on this cross-examination. The defendant, Mr. Hart, on that night, when he started yelling at Rob Brown in the parking lot area of St. Anselm Institute of Politics, was he yelling in a loud and unreasonable manner, did you believe?
I believe so.
And he yelled, "You fucking Jew hater, fuck you." Could that be heard by the people in the private area and also in the public area surrounding St. Anselm College?
I would say so.
And there was a good amount of people there.
Yes.
And, fair to say that what he was yelling, how he was yelling, that would disturb, a person of average sensibilities?
I would say so.
Objection?
Yes, sir, what is your objection?
Not being charged with disturbing. So it's, I don't know. It's speculation.
Excuse me, I need the members of the audience not to participate.
That's what I meant. It's speculation.
You move your hat, please.
I'm all set, thank you.
I'm okay with him wearing his hat.
Thank you.
Counsel, what is your response to his objection?
I don't know what the objection is.
It's speculating that it's going to disturb people. He's asking them a question to assume what other people think. He's speculating what the crowd thought. So go ahead. Speculatory.
Would you like to respond to his objection?
Yeah, I don't believe it is. Yeah, Sergeant Hosney has testified to his career as a police officer. He's now retired.
Objection.
Okay, here's the bottom line. He was present, he can testify to his observations. He can
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
He can't
Well,
testify
I'll
what's
clear
in
it
the
up.
mind of other people. He can
I'll clear it
testify
up.
to his observations, he was present.
It's fine. I'll clear this up.
I have no further questions.
So I'm gonna have you stay.
Okay. Retired now, officer. As an officer, can an officer be a complainant for disorderly conduct?
No.
I'd like to motion for that charge to be dismissed since he was the filer of the complaint. It was that simple.
I don't think he actually did file the complaint. Complaint I have, it's filed by the Goffstown Police
Okay.
Department,
Yep. Yep.
signed by Captain Dan Conley.
I'd like to have his complaint and all of his testimony stricken from the record, please.
Counsel, what's your response?
I object, it's improper. I don't even really know how to respond to that, Your Honor. I guess, is he moving to dismiss? Are you allowing him to move to dismiss now, or?
He just admitted that disorderly conduct cannot be complained.
Just strike his testimony. If you have a response to that, and then I will hear it, and then the court will rule on his motion to strike.
I do, he doesn't have a legal basis. There's no legal basis to strike his testimony, that cross-examination.
Your motion is denied.
Is his admission not proof that his complaint would not be valid? Because he just admitted that police officers can't be the complaining party of disorderly conduct.
Sir, the court has ruled on your motion that denied your motion to strike.
Okay, so we're allowing police to file disorderly conduct. Okay. Shocker. You had testified that there was no violence?
Objection, Your Honor, this goes outside the scope of cross-examination.
Okay. Would it, is...
We're on redirect at this point, go ahead.
Okay, is a person's vocals be considered disorderly conduct, like the loudness of their vocal?
To myself?
To anybody, is to be loud, is that disorderly conduct? Is that...
If a person of average senses complains about it, then yes.
Would you say it's fair that if you're at a crowded area where there's a lot of noise, that someone else being loud is not as substantial to being disorderly when there's a large audio everywhere going on, crowd?
So again, it comes back to the complaining part.
But you would say that people were being loud, right? Not just me?
There were other people voicing, yes, but you were above everybody else's You can hear you more clearly than anybody else.
Is that a crime? Is that a crime to be louder than everyone else?
If it's directed towards someone else with average sensibilities, yes.
So you're saying that if you have lower than average sensibilities, and you're in a crowd with a lot of noise, and that just that one person further distance is going to be the one disturbing the sensibilities?
Your Honor, he's answered this twice already.
Yeah. I'll give him a little bit of leeway. Go ahead, sir.
What was the question?
If you have lower sensibilities, lower than average sensibilities, and you're in a crowd with a lot of noise, and you're far away from a guy that actually is making loud noise across from a sidewalk and all that, good distance, would you say that that's reasonable statement that someone with lower than average capabilities is there? Think it's reasonable?
Object to the form of the question, Your Honor.
I'm not sure I understood the question.
Well, he's okay. Someone with less than average capabilities, if they were to hear my voice from a distance in a crowd with a lot of people noise, is that disruptive?
Objection, Your Honor.
Is that
Outside the scope of cross, I didn't ask about anything. Less of a person with less than average sensibility.
he mentioned it though?
He did
Okay.
not.
I think we're going down a road of a hypothetical here. If you want to ask him about his testimony about the events in question.
I did. He just brought up someone with less than average sensibility, so I'm bringing up less than average sensibility scenario.
Your Honor, he
He
testified.
did not bring up something less than average.
I didn't say it originally. Well, can we go look back on the record for a second, please, and check?
Based on the court's recollection of the testimony.
Wow, this is twisted already. This is so twisted. All right, you're dismissed. I'm all set with the cross-examination. Well, if anything, can I call him back, or is he done? Because I called him originally, right?
Yes.
Actually, I want to keep him then. I want to keep him.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to show. So you had recollection of no violence and where I was located in your testimony. I'm just bringing it up, so I'm going to show the video now.
We're on redirect at this point, remember?
Yeah, I'm going to show video of.
Testified on cross.
Correct. I'm going to show video of the incident of this loudness and all this stuff. Okay. Can I slip this HDMI here? It's this one.
You get an HDMI cable that can hook up directly to the laptop. I think there was one last time to hook up to the prosecutor's laptop last time.
I'm not really sure. There's like a hookup here, but there's.
That's the court's, I don't know what wire it is there. That's a court monitor, so.
Yeah, he hooked up last
Can
time,
you see it
so
from this?
I'm gonna hook up.
Just
Yeah,
there
just
from there?
HDMI right here. Unless
Play
I
it
can
on
give.
this, just play it on that.
All right, Judge, is that okay if I just play it on this?
He wants to hook it up to the court monitor, but I don't
Just so
know
we can
which
see it.
switches are in here.
As long as we can see.
Otherwise, I have it on here.
Then you can play it on your laptop as long as we can see it.
Okay.
Bring it over here to see it.
Just tell me where to go. Over here. I'm submitting evidence of video
You're
footage.
gonna play a video.
Yes.
You're gonna ask the witness questions about this?
Yes.
All right, so then, why don't you?
Is this the body worn camera?
It is on. I'm just gonna press.
Why don't you, I don't know what this video is.
It's the incident of arrest just
I
before.
understand, but I don't know if it's the.
You don't know what exhibit it was?
Why don't you ask this witness some questions if you wanna lay out a foundation for something?
No.
And, I guess I'm I don't know what is this the same video we took previously?
No, this is different
Okay.
angles. It's not body cam footage.
Okay.
These are new angles I submitted into Discovery, so you should have that.
Okay.
I don't know what video this is.
There's the freekeen.com video that I sent you in Discovery. Look at your Discovery. I sent it to you.
Okay, if you wanna, play a video and ask him questions about this.
Yes.
So this is not the videos that are in evidence right
Correct.
now?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I have it originally from Freekeen, and there's text on it. WMUR reposted it with the blurred text. What do you prefer? Because it's the same footage.
I don't know, I've never seen this.
Okay. I will do the blurred so it's not influencing. They put commentary at the bottom. So,
I need the prosecutor to be able to see this.
yep, I can.
We could do it over here if that makes sense.
Is it okay right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the incident leading up.
You may need
to my right.
Can you see?
See that?
Yeah. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just go back for a second here.
I object, this is, outside the scope of
The-
cross-examination.
There is more footage that shows the lead up. Do you hear the audio there?
Again, Your Honor, this is
Okay.
not what I was cross-examining him about.
Did you hear the audio? People yelling, screaming? I'm sorry, this is part of.
Okay. I'm sure, is this the same period of time that he's talking about?
This is where I'm saying words here going up to him, right? And you see that in the body cam footage. I think it's shows that this camera is not capturing my audio, but it's capturing everyone else's audio.
Oh, no, I'm not asking for, I'm trying to figure out what this is.
This is after the fact.
No, I haven't been arrested yet.
What he testified to, this is after.
All right, go ahead, go back and play what you just played.
Okay. There's more leading up, so it goes back and forth. There's like clips that repeat. So I'm just gonna pause it here, but we could hear that there was audio, there's other people yelling, but
Is this at the same time that he is testifying about? No.
He testified
It's-
on cross-examination when you yell, fuck you fucking Jew-hater. This is not that same period.
I'm playing audio
I understand
to
that.
have the understanding of the crowd noise, and that it wasn't just me that was loud.
Okay, I just wanna understand what it is. I'm gonna allow you to do it. Bear in mind that the questions that redirect need to be focused on when you testified in class.
Yes, I am. It's
And I
the noise.
understand-
We're listening.
And that's why I was trying to figure out whether it's the same time frame. Is this before or after the events that he testified to?
I mean, it's just after, but the audio is always gonna be like similar in the crowd noise, if not louder.
All right, I'm gonna let you ask him questions about it.
Okay. Well, since I'm bringing this footage up, as you can see and hear, there's loud audio, but you had testified that there was no violence and
That's not, we're gonna focus on his testimony on cross-examination.
I think the evidence is bringing it up.
Sure, I understand, except that this is redirect, which means it's gonna be about the subject of his cross-examination, so let's stick to that topic. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't think he testified on cross-examination about violence.
On the cross. Okay, it's fine. I want the head of security here. We can dismiss this guy.
Okay, sorry, you may step back. Thank you.
Yes. I like. What's that? What? No, not yet. No, that's not even deal with it. I believe that the witnesses were sequestered and that this testimony was tainted because they were talking after last day trial and today. And I would like to have his testimony stricken from the record, and maybe something happened to him regarding sequestering and education-wise. So I guess I'd like to have the case dismissed for witness tampering.
I'm not sure what he means by they were talking.
Did you not talk to the witness after day one trial and today? Yes or no?
Your Honor, I'm allowed to speak to my witness.
No, you're not. He's sequestered. This is a violation of the court and the judge's rule.
The question was the witnesses weren't to talk to each other. I'm not a witness.
No, I'm not allowed to talk to witnesses either. You're not allowed to talk to witnesses. You don't know the law. You're a prosecutor. I'm doing no confidence on this guy now. I don't think he should be a prosecutor.
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there. Recording. I understand your motion. What's going to deny the motion?
Crazy. You're all on the same team.
By the way, we have sequestered witnesses during this trial. I'm assuming that they're not in the courtroom, so we need to find the next witness.
Okay. Go ahead. He's a complainant.
I've arrested.
I'd like to find him, bring him here, maybe put him in cuffs to get him here because he's not here.
I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
The head of security at St. Anslem College. The main complainant in this case.
If you're calling him as a witness today.
Yes. As he's supposed to be here by your rule and the court's rules.
Did you subpoena the witness to be here today?
They were sequestered to be here, and he's a complainant in the case.
Am I correct that he's not present today?
No.
I don't recall that the court issued any word that he had to be here.
I called for both of them to stay. That's on record.
Yeah, and he was also given very specific direction on how to subpoena a witness.
Objection. It was I had said they're sequestered. It's not subpoena. He's a complainant. Stop saying subpoena. If he's a complainant, he has to be here. I file a motion to dismiss based on witnesses not being here, complainants not being here. How you like that?
There was a request to subpoena somebody, which I believe.
That was Don Bolduc, and I didn't do it right because I'm not a justice of the peace.
Okay. I don't, if you subpoenaed another witness to be here, it does not, I don't have a return of another subpoena.
Well, it's not a subpoena.
No, okay, if he's not been subpoenaed.
He's a complainant.
It's not necessarily required.
Whoa, Judge, he's a complainant in the case. So if he's not here, this court is out of order and he needs to be here, like immediately, or he should be arrested for not being here because he's supposed to be here part of a witness. He's a complainant. So we just have an officer for disorderly conduct. That's all we have here today, and that is not even a right charge. So what are we even here?
The state called this person in its case. They were here at the time the state prosecuted its case. The state has rested. Sir, it's your case. You are entitled to call witnesses that you.
I don't have to subpoena him though.
Choose to, and if so, provided they're relevant and provide relevant testimony. If you've subpoenaed a witness to be here and they're here, fine. If not, then
I don't have to subpoena this guy because he is a complainant in this trial. He needs to be here. Am I not right? For the record, this is, he should be here. It's a violation of the court rule.
sir,
I don't understand what's going on here. Why is this angled this way?
I am not granting a dismissal on this basis.
So where is he? I want to have him testify.
As I said, sir, if you needed a witness to be here, you are entitled to subpoena a witness. If he's not here,
I have to subpoena someone that was already testified in the case and he's a complainant?
testified in the state's case. If you wish to call a witness in your case, you can present a witness in your case.
Well, I want to subpoena him then. I like to subpoena him to the court. I don't understand how a complainant can't be here for a trial and expect these charges to stick. I want to get him on the stand to examine him. I don't find this is right at all.
You had the opportunity to cross-examine him, he testified, and you did.
I don't understand why I have to subpoena someone that's already a complainant in the case. He should be here. I have to subpoena someone that's already that's filing a complaint against me?
Sir, the state's case has already been presented. You had the opportunity to cross-examine the state's witnesses. If you want to present witnesses, you are free to do so.
Okay, I'd like to call the head of security at St. Anslem College to the stand. The complainant in this case.
If he's not here and he's not been subpoenaed.
He was sequestered to be here. I don't understand why day 2 of a trial the complainant wouldn't be here.
Sir, do you have any other witnesses that you'd like to call in this case?
There is no other witnesses. He is my main witness. It's going to get this whole case taken care of. And if he's not here, that makes no sense. This is a circus. I need to have the guy that's complaining against me. I have the right to face my accuser in New Hampshire courts. Are you going to violate the Constitution rights?
No, sir.
You're not. But you're not allowed. You're not getting him on the stand. He is a complainant in this case.
You have already exercised your right to cross-examine
If
him.
I'm not cross-examining him. He called the witness, and I want to bring him back onto the stand. He was sequestered the last day one trial. I don't understand why he's not doing it again today.
Okay, the court has made its ruling.
All right, final arguments. Final arguments.
Does the defendant rest?
I'd like to continue my final argument.
In other words, you're rested on the evidence. You would like now to make an argument.
Only because there's a bias in the court, and it's the judge and the prosecutor not getting a complainant here in court as according to the rules of the court. So I'm now going to show you the final thing, and I hope appeals is going to love this if you find me guilty, because you're not allowing a complainant on the stand. Okay, I'm going to show this footage.
Question. Are you looking to present evidence?
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to testify?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to have you come forward to the witness stand and testify. This is not argument. This is your opportunity to testify.
Okay, I'm just going to set up right here like this. Might I just stand?
It's fine with me.
Okay.
But I do need to put you under oath.
I would never lie. I'm like these thugs. Go ahead.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on your pains and penalties of perjury.
Always, or send me to hell. Okay. All right, let's play this beautiful bean footage here of
Sir, can I have you state your name before you testify? So the record is clear.
Joseph Hart.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, so now what we're going to see here. Actually, I only need to show you, right, Judge? I don't need to show you, right? They don't need to see it. I just need to show it to you, the footage.
Well, the prosecutor is going to look at it at the same time. So.
All right. All right, what we're going to see here.
The parties need to relocate and do that.
What we're going to see here is that the head of security and your officer back here have lied under oath. The head of security said that he didn't put hands on. They both said that I went to further on the sidewalk. I have the map, so just so a reference. The evidence of the map that was drawn. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna.
No, it's gotta get it.
Oh, I see.
This one, or do you want the?
That's fine. That's perfect. Okay, so they testified, and I went all the way over here to the sidewalk. When clearly in the video you're going to see I only went to here, and if I didn't leave the property, they should have further escorted me off the property. But they didn't do that. They secured me at a line that was right here, where they wouldn't let anyone go past that point, basically where the parking spots started. And I went from being trespassed from here to here. And then from here, I went further toward the road.
My concern is the record's not going to reflect what here to here means.
Okay, you want to draw with a pen?
Or you can even describe it in your testimony.
Let me write it with a pen so I can just hand it off to you and show you. I'm going to use it with X's instead of O's.
Okay.
Okay. It might be kind of hard to see, but here's where I was trespassed because the line of the parking lot, the parking spaces were here. This is where I was trespassed, and I left the property with words, as you can see in the video, but I went to here. As you can see in the video in a second.
Lack of pen marking.
Yes,
okay.
So the X to the X, and from that X, I went up to Don Bolduc over here. So I didn't go all the way over here like they testified, and you'll see that in the video. I went from here to there, okay? So their testimonies are wrong, and the video is gonna prove that in a second. And then what else you're gonna see in this video is the head of security testified that he did not put hands on. You're gonna see that he put hands on. And you're also going to see that they testified that there was no violence. Yet, I was struck, not by one, not by two, not by three, but 4 people, yet no one was arrested for violence or assault. Okay? So, we're going to watch all this. So, I'm calling out the witnesses for being liars. Here we go. It'll repeat, so I'm just gonna watch it for a few seconds here. It's gonna have some slow-mo in here too. So here's Don Bolduc. And you're gonna see an elbow go into my chest, right there. And then you're gonna see two other individuals come up to me. So Don Bolduc throws an elbow. You see a guy try to hit me with a flagpole. You see two other guys assault me. And you see the cops pulling the people trying to assault me away. So they knew that this was going on. They knew that they were assaulting me, but they were never charged. I never swung at Don Bolduc, even though he says in this clip, he hit me. So that's a false police report.
Excuse me, what is your objection?
This is all leading up to my arrest. What's irrelevant?
Okay, what is, what's the relevance of this, sir?
I'm proving that both witnesses on the stand have lied about what actually happened today. Of where I was located, you can see that at the beginning of the clip, or where I was jogging over. Let me see here. I'm trying to get a better angle here, because at the beginning angle. I'm gonna bring up another clip too in a second.
Okay.
But you see where I am right here? This is where I was located. They're pretty accurate with their testimony.
I'm seeing that from here. Why don't we do it up here?
Okay.
And, so, tell me what I'm looking at, what you believe is relevant and why.
Let me bring up the other clip. This one is kind of choppy here. It's the same thing, it's just that it has freaking.
Can you give me a time frame? In
Okay.
terms of when?
Yes. All right. So, right at this point. Oh, sorry. Right at this point, I've been trespassed from the property. I'm in the motion of walking to the sidewalk. Okay. So this happens all pretty quick, with less than a minute of me being trespassed and then me being arrested. So here we go. Note that the cops are pulling off a gentleman assaulting me. And Bolduc is saying he hit me, which I never did. You can see the footage, I never swung at him, even though he said this on national media.
Okay,
I'm pointing out, describing the scene.
I think it's relevant to his trespass because he's at this moment, but his testimony is all about what other people are doing to him.
No, objection. Objection. I haven't gotten into that yet. I haven't shown my full evidence of the
okay,
scene.
well, it's not, I'm gonna allow this for purposes of the issue of the trespass and where you're at during these events, okay? I don't know that it's relevant to what other people are doing.
You're gonna see in this footage, there's more
Okay,
to
so
this.
I'm gonna allow you.
You're gonna see that I went from here to right here
Okay.
on the sidewalk. You can see the discoloration on the
Yes,
sidewalk,
okay.
and you'll see that in the footage.
Okay.
So I never really fully left the property. I looked on the GCI, was like, it's kind of like that, right? The line of the property. But the sidewalk in the GCI survey shows you right here. See the sidewalk? Continues from the public sidewalk, and here as well, but it ends
Okay.
right there.
I objected.
So I went from this
Excuse
side
me,
of the
I need to rule on his objection. Counsel, what are you objecting to his hearsay?
He's testifying to the property lines. GIS, he's citing.
Okay, well, the court has already accepted this exhibit, I'll rely on the exhibit that's in front of the court.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look at,
I'm not objecting to the exhibit.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm objecting to his.
It's his other explanation of other
Which
sources.
part was it though? You're saying.
Here's the bottom line, I'm gonna allow you to describe, where you were on exhibit B. I think he's objecting to other documents showing property lines.
I see, because I did just draw a line for the GSI survey, but if you were to look it up right now, what you'll find is, see like this.
Okay, I'm not, I'm gonna
This
sustain
is
the
a
objection
photo
about the
from
other
GSI.
survey. I understand, and I'm gonna, this photo is in evidence, and you can describe where you are on this process, and you can even describe what your understanding of these things are.
Thank you.
I think what you can't testify to is what else is out there that I don't know about, but you can testify to
Okay,
what you're
I'm just
Go
letting
ahead.
you know that these lines that you see like it's like a digital line right there. There's a digital line that goes here and it ends like right about there. And it goes like that, takes a 90-degree angle. Do you see that? It's kind of hard to see, but it's there.
I do see it.
Now that's a GSI survey for sidewalks. It's the option turned on this website. It's your own.
I'm allowed, you can describe what you believe is on the
Okay.
exhibit, go ahead.
Okay, so I was trespassed, I left and I went to here, which I guess wasn't fully off of a sidewalk according to GSI surveys after I looked at it, but they didn't escort me all the way, so I wasn't knowingly being on the property. They just assumed that I was on public property and they put that in the report. He walked over to the public sidewalk. Now, there in testimony, they said I went all the way here, as you can see, but I never went all the way over here. We're gonna see that in the video. I only went here. And then from here, I went further away from the property, which I thought I was off the property already. So I have to be knowingly trespassing for me to be trespassing. I was criminally trespassed. I was just trespassed here, went to here. They never approached me. They never further pushed me away because they were guarding the line here from where the parking spaces are. They were guarding this line, preventing people from going back there, cameraman or whoever. Now, they trespassed me. I go to here. Then I further go to here with Don Bolduc. You're gonna see this all the time. If you like to watch that.
Okay, go ahead.
You see where I came from? That direction? I didn't come from the sidewalk way over here. I came from right here. I came from there. So their testimony is wrong. As you can see, the head of security putting hands on me right now, pushing me, holding my shoulder. He lied. He said that he did not touch me. There it is. There's evidence. He lied. I want his testimony stricken because of his inaccuracy.
Listen, I'm not gonna strike his testimony. You obviously are.
It's perjury.
You are free to testify contrary to his testimony. You obviously disagree with it. So I will accept your testimony. But
Video
I'm not
evidence
striking
is
his
clear.
testimony. And I will consider all the evidence as well. Go ahead.
He's hands-on. He said he did. It's actually against the policy at St. Anselm College to put hands-on.
Okay.
Unless I was doing it.
State the basis for your objection, please.
I have a policy at St. Anselm College, and hearsay.
Actually, security in general
Okay, here's
is
the
known.
bottom line. Sir, I'm not gonna determine that. What I am gonna determine is where you were when, and that is what's relevant to the court. So I'm gonna use this video for the purpose of determining that, okay? What's another policy about the policy regarding a hands-on and St. Anselm isn't necessarily relevant. What I'm gonna consider here is, I understand, I'm gonna consider purposes of credibility of the witnesses, and I'm also gonna consider this evidence based on your testimony as to where you were.
I'm just gonna say statements. I'm gonna say that security, all security, non-police security, their duty is to observe and report. Unless there's a violent threat or a violence occurring, then they can go hands-on. There is no violence in my direction. There's violence in all the other directions toward me, 4 people attacking me, and then including, of course, the police, putting handcuffs and kidnapping me because of a false statement by this gentleman, head of security. And we're gonna watch the rest of the footage because I wanted to see all of this. It's very important. So. Wanna go more hands-on? This just shows more violence, the violence that occurred. Question is, why isn't they arrested, but?
Okay, that is not the full court.
I know, it doesn't, it's a hypothetical. So they testified that there was no violence, yet you see violence. Testified no hands-on, hands-on. They testified I was always on the public sidewalk, which they did put in their statement, which was nice. They said I went to a public sidewalk after being put. Then, I wasn't all the way over here, I was here. And you can see that in the video, where I started and where I ended up. And the only time I re-entered the property knowingly is when they put me in cuffs and brought me behind the building. I'd like to also show one clip. This happened just after at the same venue, and it's Bolduc's statement regarding the violence.
How is that relevant?
Because the head of security and the officers said there was no violence. So I'm gonna have admission of someone that admitted there was violence at the scene. It's not hearsay. He was there, he's testifying.
It's not a court statement, often for the truth of the matter. So it is hearsay. I'm also not sure that it's relevant. This is the statement after the fact about.
It's probably like 30 minutes after, inside the venue where they had the debate, and this is the first admission of, other than that he hit me, this is the first admission that I assaulted someone, or he's saying that someone assaulted.
I don't think it's relevant. You're not charged with assault in this case.
I know, but I'm proving that there was violence and there was admission by a predominant person, a police officer, general, one-star general. I think his testimony is relevant to this case. This is just the video footage of him saying it.
Well, first of all, it's hearsay. I don't think it's relevant, and I understand that you disagree with the other officer's testimony regarding what transpired, and you presented a video that you believe contradicts their testimony.
Absolutely, 100%. Someone admitting it, and the video footage showed that there was violence.
Okay, do you have further testimony you want to provide?
No, that's it.
Then I'm gonna have you sit down at the witness stand in case counsel has any questions for you, okay?
Because you're a defendant now. Oh, this is the evidence. Sorry, my bad. And I have this footage if you want it on a USB. I have it over here.
Objection, I don't object to that coming in as evidence, Your Honor, just because of all the written statements all over that video.
You said you had one without the written statement.
I did. I showed you WMUR one, but it was kind of choppy. But did you read it? Did you read any of the text?
No.
Okay.
So.
But if it comes in.
Yeah, but if you.
I'll show the WMUR one.
Um.
That they blurred it out.
If you wanna introduce the video, give me the version without the statements on it.
Okay, they're both on this, so. Here, you want to go?
Okay, so
Sorry.
consider the one without the written statements on it.
Thank you.
They're both on there, so it's either which one you want to choose to watch. I think.
What I'm saying is I'm gonna admit the video without the statements on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, all three videos are on there, so.
That is exhibit D.
No, just those two.
Okay. I am gonna need you to come back up here.
Oh, I'm going on the stand?
You might wanna leave your camera there.
According to your testimony, you said you were trespassed.
No comment.
Your Honor.
I won't have to testify.
It's cross-examination.
You did testify, sir. He's gonna cross-examine you.
So I have to answer these questions?
Well, here's the bottom line. He is entitled to cross-examine you.
Sure.
Based on your prior testimony. You decide at some point you need to plead the Fifth Amendment. We'll take that up if and when it happens. Go ahead.
Can you ask the question again, please?
In your testimony, you said that you were trespassed.
Yes.
Who trespassed you?
Who did it first? Is the question?
Yes.
I'm not really sure who did it first. It was either, I think it was the head of security because I need clarification, so I consider that the first one.
What did he tell you?
That you're not welcome here, you need to leave.
What'd you do?
I left.
Where'd you go?
To the sidewalk.
Okay. So you knew you weren't welcome there?
Yeah, when I was trespassed, I left.
And you came back?
No.
You remained?
I'm sorry?
You remained on the property?
Well, I didn't knowingly remain on the property. So I thought I went to a public sidewalk and then I further moved away from the property that I thought I was off. Because the sidewalks were very clear that they were changed color and they wrapped around the corner. I'm testifying all the way.
How far did you walk after he told you to leave?
To the sidewalk.
How far did you walk after he told you to
I
leave?
think I showed that on the paperwork where I walked.
Your Honor, can you attest to?
Objection. I've already testified to that.
I understand, but you're on cross-examination, you can answer his questions if you
Plead
have
the
the
fifth.
ability to do so.
I've already testified. Plead the fifth.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I've already testified on this. I'm pleading the fifth. He's trying to ask me a certain distance, and I can't measure. I don't have a measuring tape.
So you're asserting that the answer to this question likely incriminate you, is that you're asserting that?
He's asking me to provide a distance.
I said, how far did you walk?
Yeah, that's a distance.
Okay.
I cannot give you that answer because I don't have a measuring stick with me to go measure it.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you measure it?
Can you estimate?
I think it's clear in the video how far I went and walked. Go ahead.
Could you estimate how far you walked?
I could.
How far?
Plead the fifth. I don't think it's very, objection, the video showed how far I walked and where I was and all that, and I testified on this already.
Sir, you've elected to testify, you're subject to cross-examination. If you are asserting your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and choose not to testify, then the court will consider what to do with
Perfect.
your direct examination regarding the same topic.
Okay, plead the fifth.
Do you know that they didn't want you on their property?
Did I know when?
When they told you to leave, that you weren't welcome, did you know you were not welcome on St. Anselm College?
When they told me to leave, yes, of course. Like other times I've been trespassed and I left the property.
I have no more further questions, Your Honor.
I'm a good citizen with a camera. Protects me all the way.
Do you have any other witnesses, sir?
No. Except for the ones that complained, but they're not showing up. Put that on for the record, please, that the complainant is not here.
And I understand you raised an issue about that earlier.
I don't need to subpoena them. I think that's wrong.
And I understand the court issued a ruling on that, and your objection is preserved. Then if the case is submitted on the evidence, I'm gonna give both parties an opportunity to make an argument about whether you believe the state did or did not meet its burden of proof and why that is. And sir, I'll give you the opportunity to go first.
Well, it's very clear by the video where this is all ending up. The witnesses to the case, one that didn't show up today, even though they were sequestered, and I don't understand why they would have to be subpoenaed if they're a complainant in the case. I have the right to examine them, and they should be here right now. And I think that their testimony is clear perjury, and that they need to go in cuffs and be sent to jail because that's what they deserve. And I'm sorry you retired, but there's an order to thing. There's a rule of law, and if you violate the rule of law, you should be held accountable, including if you're assaulted. And I did file a complaint against Don Bolduc, so for them to say that there was no violence, well, there was a complainant on that. And for them to drag me behind the college and to just mock me was just wrong. I think it's part of the kidnapping process that they performed. It was a clear violation of rights. You can't object to the final argument. I can say whatever I want.
I don't normally object during closings, however.
I object then, because he doesn't usually do that. It's not normal.
It's improper for closing arguments.
Sir, closing argument is your opportunity to comment on the evidence in this case.
Yeah.
And so let's focus on that.
Okay, I admit that I'm loud, but not as loud as a whole crowd. So one guy can't drown out the whole crowd. That's a baloney testimony. The idea is that you know, we have the right to free speech no matter how loud our vocals are. And if you want, I can test out how loud they are. They're very loud, very, very loud. And I'm probably one of the loudest people you know, because I'm good at it. And but I didn't use any amplified or anything like that. It was just my vocals. And for them to say that I was being loud and all that stuff, whatever. You know, I have the right to swear. I have the right to call people a motherfucker. I have the right to, you know, call someone anti-Semitic. I have the right to do that, especially when they're violating other people's rights in the moment too. And I think this is really shows where this state is, where these police officers are and prosecution when they lie or even assault my counsel the last day one trial. That's part of this. You know, I think you're all part of a team and that you're colluding and conspiring, especially when you're supposed to be sequestered but you're talking to witnesses.
Okay.
It's all part of the case. I want this on record. I hope it's all recorded.
There's a transcript running in this.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna overrule his objection. Court is not in collusion with any of the parties in this case. However, I will consider the remainder of his argument to the extent it's heard.
Bailiff is though.
He's entitled to make his
The bailiff. He's not part of it. It's not gonna.
Sir, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it's clear in the video that yeah, I was trespassed, and like previously I've been trespassed and I left property, and you know Manchester learned a lesson on that where I filed a lawsuit and I got a settlement out of it because they knew they were wrong. The DA, the DA.
Objection.
Okay, how about this? So you clearly saw an elbow into my chest by Don Bolduc, and I filed the complaint. Yet that wasn't ever brought up into this court because the chief said I wasn't assaulted. The DA, they just said I wasn't assaulted, but you clearly saw it.
Okay. Overruled. I think he's within the context of argument.
It was retaliatory action, the
You're
rest.
presenting factual information. The court's only going to rely on the evidence presented. However, I will allow you to make the argument.
I believe it's retaliatory action.
Evidence presented here.
I believe it's retaliatory action because they didn't like what I did. And I went up to Don Bolduc and said, you suck, don't go to war. And the next thing he does is assaults me. And of course, they're going to listen to the youngest cop in New Hampshire history and a one-star general. They're going to believe him when he says, he hit me, he hit me, he hit me. And they colluded to make that arrest because they didn't tell me what I was being charged with. And they added a charge later on at the police station just because they had to really find something to get me on. But they had caught in their lies. You can't be charged with disorderly conduct by a police officer. That is not how it works in New Hampshire or in any state in America, okay? And it was clear that there was violence that day, and the witnesses saw that. And I know the prosecution saw that too in the video. Violence. You're all good at doing violence. So, you know, and getting away with it. And I hope the judge really considers this case as I'm innocent of these charges. I had the right to free speech. I wasn't knowingly trespassing. I went to the public sidewalk. They didn't escort me further off the property, assuming I was actually still off the property. I was just assuming I'm off the property at this point, or I would not have remained there. And I went further away from the property when I confronted Don Bolduc. It's as simple as that. If I was still trespassing, they should have escorted me all the way. Simple as that. I'm all set.
Thank you, sir. Counsel?
We've heard testimony from Robert Brown, Matt Hosney, and the state's entered exhibits which show video body-worn camera evidence of the crimes that Mr. Hart is charged with: criminal trespass, disorderly conduct. This is not a complex case, Your Honor. That evidence that the state has put in as exhibits, along with the testimony of both our witnesses, clearly show that Mr. Hart remained on the property of St. Anselm College, Institute of Politics, knowing that he's not licensed to do so or privileged to do so, and from the defendant's own testimony himself, admitted that.
Objection. What, he's saying I admitted something. Can you clarify on that?
He's simply commenting on the evidence. Go ahead.
It can be seen in the video that corroborates the witness testimony is disorderly conduct. Your Honor, you've seen it multiple times on video during the state's case. You've heard testimony of Rob Brown from St. Anselm College. The state has certainly met its burden of proof on both charges, and we ask you to find the defendant guilty.
Could I just clarify one thing on a statement that I made? Is that I was trespassed, but I wasn't criminally trespassing. So I recognize I was being trespassed, but I do not recognize criminal trespass. Okay.
I will consider that part of your argument.
Thank you.
Okay. The state is not gonna, I'm looking at the state while I'm talking. The court is not going to rule from the bench in this case. I'm going to take this under advisement. I also know I did reserve the ruling on the motion to dismiss. I understand the difference in the burden of proof on the motion to dismiss as well as the case on the merits. I am going to take this under advisement and look at the evidence. I'll consider all the evidence and testimony that I heard as well as the argument for the parties. And I will issue a ruling. Okay.
How long do you think I will be here?
We will certainly be within a reasonable period of time. I'm not going to give you a date today.
Understood.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Oh yeah. Wait. Say it again. It's 30 days. Yeah. All set.
You all set?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Please rise.
I'm going to show you evidence of assault, and I like to press charges. Okay. So Don Bolduc, I approached Don Bolduc, right? See, I'm right there. He threw an elbow in my chest. I'm going to show you it again in slow-mo in a second. And that's right. And he's saying he hit me, he hit me, he hit me. So he's making a false police request with the officers as well. So he's lying about me hitting him, including on national media, but that's another story. But he lied to the police, and he actually threw an elbow in my chest. We're going to see it.
And my attorney was like, said he's supposed to be and then the law, and I was like, why did you do this?
Right there. We're going to see in slow-mo in a second.
He said the reason why they don't
Last year, or 2 years ago now, actually. But I'm bringing it up because
what he did during the trials, like, there's no evidence anything. I want to dismiss all 4 charges, because there's no evidence anything. And the judge did it, but the jury still found him not guilty.
this is the angle. You're going to really see it.
So that's one thing. And the second case, because when I was in the hospital, I was good.
Ready? Boom!
So all of this.
So I'm filing assault charges against Don Bolduc. And my name is Joseph Hart, and I also want to press charges against a couple other people here that I can give you their names for assault. I don't have one for you. I have my email. Breaking the Flaw, F-L-A-W, at gmail.com. I'd rather not give that.
Before we start, it's important to know I only accept crypto, so Bitcoin, Dogecoin, or Ethereum. Oh, actually, wait. Not Ethereum. Wait, no. I don't anymore. Wait, yes, I do. But you have to send it, like, right now. Did you send it? I did. No! Why did you do that? Ooh, forget real estate. Invest in money you can't even see, they said. Okay.